I wonder, can you have too many mimics in one encounter? Oh, sorry, didn't see you there. Let me put this down. Welcome to this year's Cybersquatch Dungeons & Dragons one-shot. Typically, our one-shots do take place at our shindig, which is like our Friday night party at our local brewery, but with COVID being COVID, we decided to try out an online format, and I invited 5 lovely folks who live here in the Pacific Northwest to join me on an adventure as Sasquatches who live in the Northwest and get up to wonderful shenanigans. The system we'll be using is D&D 5e, but during this game, the rules are a little wishy-washy and more of a guideline. And so please just don't rules, lawyery, all that shenanigans. We were just here to have fun, see each other, especially because we couldn't play in person. So keep that in mind while you're watching. I want to make sure to give a special shout out to the artists who helped me pull in a lot of not only the character art and the character tokens, but also the maps. Shout out to Kels Lund and Beth Hammer. Thank you so much for working with me on this project. It was a pleasure, and I hope you all enjoy these original Sasquatches and the shenanigans they're about to get up to. Well, that's all the announcements I have, so how about I stop talking and we start adventuring. Enjoy. And without further ado, it's a bright sunny morning at the Turtleback Resort, which is located on the northwest portion of Orcas Island in the San Juan Archipelagos. It's nearing the end of the summer season, so most Sasquatches who come to this resort for rest have already come and gone. However, one group came in late the night before, breathing a whole new life and energy to the resort. This group is the legendary Swordsquatch Cascadia Force. It happened only a week ago, but word has already traveled carrying the tale of how these Swordsquatches took down the blight of Mount Rainier, freed the mountain's possessed unicorn guardian spirit Roshan, and restored the land to its healthy and growing glory. Confident that other Swordsquatch forces can oversee the protection of Mount Rainier, the Elder Squatches gave the Cascadia Force permission to take a well-deserved vacation. Not wasting any time, you 5 left to head northward. A few days of horse riding, followed by a few days at sea, you've made it safely to Turtleback Resort. Today is your first official day of vacation. Upon waking, you were directed to a lovely continental breakfast being hosted at their feast hall. This hall has a fine oak table that spans the entire room and currently has various amounts of local delicacies spread out, like blackberry jam and fresh salmon. On one side of the hall is the entrance to the rest of the resort, and on the other side is a foldable wall that can be opened up to the gorgeous views of the sea. Attendants are currently finishing opening the wall up, and a slight refreshing breeze can be felt by those sitting at the main table. Other than the attendants, there are no guests in the feast hall. However, the first guest to enter the hall is a small-looking Sasquatch with a hood pulled up, despite being indoors. This is Lycanceous Littlefoot. Joe Colistro, do you want to describe your character?
Yes, I'm Joe Colistro, and I will be playing Little, I've got a much longer name, but it's hard to pronounce, so we're going to stick with Little. Little is a rogue, and he is the tiniest of our party. And I believe probably one of the newest members to the Cascadia force. Formerly a bandit, now turned to the path of good, righteous, and all that is natural. Here for a little R&R.
Perfect. You walk in, probably look at the spread, take a few of the berries, plate up some of the salmon, and take a seat. A few minutes later, a taller Sasquatch with long flowing hair makes his way into the hall. This is Sycamoris, Sick Shadowfury. Claire, do you want to describe your character?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Claire, and I'm playing Sick Shadowfury. Sick is tall and muscular, but also clearly aged, quite lined in the face. There's like bits of lichen and silver through his hair, and walks like slowly and thoughtfully with purpose, very much surveying his environment as he comes into the room, nodding to various attendants who you've seen in years before. Sick is the eldest member of the Cascadia force and carries himself with the air of someone who's seen it all.
You probably kind of peruse, pick and choose very carefully, even like the most perfect blackberry to put on your plates before you take a seat.
One does never waste time when blackberries are in season, but one does never waste blackberries.
No. Following behind Sick is a massively ripped and tall-looking Sasquatch by the name of Tulip Treebane. Callie, do you want to describe your character?
So if there is a door to be kicked, I will be kicking it down, and striding in, with many boisterous exclamations of, "Hell yeah!" and like, "Check this out!" So I am Callie, and I'm playing the Tool, let's be clear. And I'm one of the probably younger Sasquatches here. I'm very new to the force, but I am bringing all of my gusto and just loading my plate. Like, it's a little ridiculous. Like, if there's a little mountain, like a little Mount Rainier food on it.
You just go over and you just like take an entire bowl of blackberries and then like start piling salmon. So it just like, in comparison to Sick's bowl or even plate, it's just like very sparse, but like the perfect blackberries. Yours is just like,
live life to the fullest.
Hell yeah. As you take your seat, there's a bit of commotion, which can be heard outside, where that folding door has been open, and in walks Boabaya Blazingriver with a fresh seagull kill from the beach for breakfast. Bo is like holding the seagull by the neck, walks in, and a slightly shocked attendant like rushes over and offers to take the seagull to the kitchen to be prepared. And as they're speaking, Jay, do you want to describe your character?
Hi, I'm Jay, and I'm playing Bo Blazingriver. Bo is the second oldest of the company, but it's hard to tell that sometimes. He tends to be a little bit goofy, a bit of a prankster, likes playing jokes on people, and I am very insistent that I am not giving up this seagull, no matter how much it bothers the poor man who's trying to rescue it from me.
The attendant is just like, please, we can cook it up in all sorts of ways that you might want to eat it. You don't have to eat it raw. It's probably best that you don't eat it raw. Do you really want to hold on? It's probably really dirty. Got it from the sand. I can see a few spots.
No. It's definitely my seagull. I'm keeping this. It's my own kill.
Very well. And lastly, as Bo, you are speaking to this attendant, a stocky Sasquatch with two axes hitched to their back walks in. This is Apalius, ape Anacardium. He finds his seat. Joe Brassey, would you like to describe your character?
I'm Joe Brassey. I will be playing Apalius, ape Anacardium, and he walks in and pauses as he does so and looks around with squinting eyes. And as he so often does, he begins to narrate what he's doing out loud. He enters into the room, standing, staring about, looking in, taking in the scenery. This is a challenge of the likes of which he has not faced since he slept the previous night. Ooh, orange juice.
Once everyone
Starts coming over. Yeah.
Go ahead. You start coming over. There's various different canters full of orange juice, apple juice, even blackberry juice. And once everyone is settled, you guys see walk through the door a 40-something female-presenting Sasquatch with a bright blue sash around her shoulder, a silver rapier attached to her waist, and she enters and she makes her way over to you all, and I will share right now what she looks like. Boo-ba-da-boo. This is Isabella Gentlefur. Going back to my thing. Good morning, Swordsquatch Cascadia Forest. My name is Isabella Gentlefur, and I'll be your Turtleback Resort personal attendant. I hope you swelp well for your first night here. As your attendant, I will always be somewhat near should you have any questions, comments, concerns, or requests. Now, I know you don't have much planned on your week stay. To be honest, those are the best kind of vacations. But the one thing you've requested was lots of beach time. We've taken the liberty of reserving our exclusive Turtleback Cove for your party while you're staying with us. She takes a moment to look down on her clipboard with some papers. It was also requested to have some sandcastle making tools available for a sandcastle contest, which is perfect because the cove is one of the few sandy beaches we have here on Orcas Island. Now then, do you have any questions for me?
Sick looks her up and down and thinks to himself a second, you were much smaller the last time I saw you, just running about your mother's feet.
Oh,
and now
God.
here you are.
Look at me. I even have my own rapier. You gave me my first sword lesson. I remember that. Thank you so much for that. I learned lots. I am very happy to be seeing you here, and I hope you have the best of stays. Do you have any more questions for me?
How many competitors will there be in this sandcastle building contest? He wonders to himself. It's not entirely clear whether he's actually addressing her or whether he's literally just thinking out loud.
She kind of gives you this look and, well, if I'm to answer the voice in the room, I would say the other competitors are your companions. You will be the only ones on the beach.
As soon as that is said, Little begins to pocket all of the silverware and possible sculpting tools available at the table and looks to her and says, Is there any more silverware?
Go ahead, give me a sleight of hand check, please. So on your character sheet under skills, there should be the sleight of hand button. Just highlight it red. Perfect. Scroll all the way down. Oh, yeah. That's super nice. So, you know those very wide, kind of almost leaf-looking serving spoons that are just pure silver? You are able to just easily snag one of those, and then you see that there's even a really nice engraved gravy bowl that you're just able to dump out the gravy, no one sees it, and just kind of pocket it. You're like, that would make a really nice tower. So you've acquired a really nice sand scooping spoon and a possibly really cool tower that might do some cool engravings on the sand on the outside. And she looks at you, just not even noticing where your hands are underneath the table. Well, let's see. We got shovels. As far as silverware, we don't like to use our fine silverware for the sand. We use it to clean, but we don't necessarily like to actually carve it up because it'll actually sometimes scratch the silver, depending.
I just mean to eat. Mine's gone.
Oh, I am so sorry. And she snaps at one of the attendants on the other side, and they look at your plate, and they kind of just for a second you can see the expression of, I definitely put silverware there. But then Isabel snaps her finger again, and he goes off, and he rushes back a few minutes later with some more silverware for you to have.
Winks aggressively.
Well, if there aren't any more questions, the winner of the sandcastle building contest will actually get a 1-day spa day courtesy of Iris Iron Trunk, who is your mentor. Don't worry about having to pay for it. It's everything, top tier, all the massage, like the really good mud bath. That is what the winner gets for Sand Castle building contest. If that's all the questions, just let me know when you'd like me to lead you to the cove. It's a slight walk, but it's well worth the privacy. And with that, she just kind of goes over off to the corner, kind of seems to, like, all of her attention seems to be back on the clipboard as she's looking at itineraries and papers, and she leaves your party to kind of finishing up your meal for the day.
You know, the problem with mud baths is that they make you wash it off. Like, I get all this good mud on me, and then they're like, no, that can't stay. What is the point?
I imagine if young Mr. Little can get all of the silverware he needs, perhaps you may also have all the mud you wish for, Miss Tulip.
On the one hand, he wonders aloud to himself whether or not competing with his companions will drive difficult wedges amidst his teammates. On the other hand, the thought of a manicure is most delightful.
Also, why is there gravy on the ground? Gravy doesn't belong on the ground.
Indeed not. I shall fix it. He's going to lean down and start licking the gravy off the ground.
Oh, it's that sort of place. All right.
Isabel walks over. Oh my goodness, sir, you don't have to do that. We can bring you fresh gravy. Don't you worry. And she goes over and she kind of tries to, like, clean up the gravy as you, like, in middle, like, you lick, and then she'll clean some and you lick.
He looks up just like, I am sorry. I have committed an impropriety.
I mean, if you prefer the gravy with a slight bit of dirt, that is totally up to you. Whatever you need.
Never an impropriety when it comes to gravy.
We have some of the best gravy here at Turtleback Cove, or Turtleback Resort. Does anybody need anything else before we go to the cove?
I turn to Bo and say, how's your seagull? Perhaps we all might enjoy some later today. That Littleback Cove might acquire a few more that we might share.
This one is mine special. I think we're gonna have to make a funeral pyre for him out of the sand. It seems only right for this honorable creature that I vanquished in battle.
Oh, he's not your breakfast. He's your opponent.
Well, he's not my breakfast anymore.
Feathers sticking out of your mouth.
Yep, there's like a little bit of like the errant feather. Probably stuck
Ape just
in
sits
both
there
ears.
first. Ape just sits there for a second and then says, "She makes a joke. It is humorous. I will laugh now." You get the sense he's taken one too many blows to the head at various points in his life.
Isabella is just kind of off to the side being like, is this the right time to laugh? That's a joke. Okay, well, we're laughing. Would you, Bo, would you like me to wrap the pigeon up for the travels to get to the pyre, if that's what you wish to do with the pigeon or seagull, excuse me, when you get to the beach?
Of course, he needs a shroud.
Very well, I will be right back. And she...
What's left of him.
Yes. She leaves the room, once again, kind of leaving you all for a little bit, just to either probably, there's some bread that you can take, there's some cheese, even for blackberries, should you wish, whatever you kind of want to pocket for the slight jaunt that it will be to get to Turtleback Cove.
Pocket is that's a very modest word for what the tool does. And she takes a bowl and then wraps it in the gunny sack so she knows to be able to stick. It's got a good solid bottom then, and enough to share.
Perfect. And you've definitely made lots of those sacks in your time, for sure. Plenty of food for travel.
Ape picks up a glass of orange juice and holds it like this.
Just slightly
Tasty.
sipping it. It's very tasty. You can tell this is extremely fresh orange juice, probably squeezed this morning. But also, oranges don't grow here. It came from somewhere very far away. A few minutes later, Isabella makes her way back, looks at you all. All right, shall we?
Is there anybody else in the dining hall presently?
There's like other attendants, but for the most part, your party is like it as far as the guests that are staying here at this resort. Because it's like the end of the tourist season, essentially. Which is why so much attention is being kind of put on you guys, especially because you're pretty renowned in and of itself.
And they're probably hoping for good tips, too. It has to carry them through the winter.
Yeah, totally.
Little sketches a deep bow, indicating that she should lead the way, while trying to contain the rustle of any silverware that he has acquired, while also with an offhand just grasping vainly for any additional tools for the sandcastle competition that might be left on the table.
Okay. Go ahead and make me another sleight of hand check, please.
All right.
It's the rogue's bread and butter. So, as like you're bowing down, those of you that are kind of behind Little, you see Little's hand like off to the side, and then very obviously like knock over a canter, and all of a sudden orange juice is just all over the table, and it's like seeping like onto some of the plates. And there is an attendant off to the side, and he just goes rushing for like, "Oh my goodness, sir, are you okay? That looked like did you cut your hand?" Or...
Came out of nowhere. That was.
It just.
Wow. Wow.
It just seemed to jump out at you. I'm just okay. I'm glad. We are so sorry. Is there anything we can do to make up for it?
Just backing away like a terrified animal. Just like the orange juice has done him seriously afoul, and he is slowly edging out of the room.
In light of the spilled orange juice, he wonders to himself, perhaps his impropriety was not as bad as he previously thought.
Sick is gonna just grab the entire, I don't know if they're on a platter or in a bowl, but the entirety of the blackberries, and just like nonchalantly, just like follow Little out of the room, just like gently selecting and savoring each, like just starting to head outwards.
The blackberries.
Yeah, just
and
waste
those of
none.
you witnessing this, you can see that like some of the attendants for a second kind of almost go up to stop you from taking the plate, but then Isabella like catches their eyes and goes, just let it happen. And then Sick just walks out. All right. And with that, the rest of your party is led out by Isabella. And she leads your party out of the feast hall through the open wall and down a dirt path that follows the coastline for a bit before curving inland. After about 10 minutes of walking, you find yourselves trekking through the forest in a well-curated path. You can barely hear the ocean and its sounds before another sound takes over your ears. The new sound turns out to be a small creek that comes into view as you round a bend and see the creek's direction turns back towards the ocean. Also, before you is what looks like to be a recently built or renovated bridge that crosses over the creek. You begin to cross the bridge when Isabella turns and says, "One of our summer projects was redoing this trail to the Turtleback Cove, as well as perking up this fine bridge. Did you know this was one of the first bridges built on the island when we first landed here? It helps us out in the fall time when the rainy season comes and the creek's water level rises." As Isabella continues to describe this bridge and its history, I need everyone to please make perception checks.
Ooh.
Dang, okay.
All right, be
Okay, wow.
Can you call out what we rolled?
There we go. It actually shows up in chat.
Okay, cool.
All right, so, my goodness.
That nat 20 though. That nat 20 though.
Holy moly.
Yeah,
How
like-
many
Jesus.
21s do we
Oh,
hit?
yes.
That's
Team
what I'm
21.
very impressed with.
God.
So,
It's the morning coffee. We're just like, we're jittery and alert.
all the sugar intake from all the blackberries, just like.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Bo, you rolled the lowest, and you're just kind of cuddling.
I'm trying to keep hold of all my pigeon feathers or my seagull
Exactly.
feathers, and they just want to go everywhere.
It
It's
kind of-
terrible.
And all you can think is, this bridge looks nice enough. The stain is very well done. I think everyone else, let's see, 21. Oh, let's see, Ape. You look at the bridge and you're like, it looks okay on the surface, but you notice there seems to be multiple marks across its wood that look like slashing or piercing marks that someone tried to like sand down and cover up with the stain.
This bridge is deficient, he thinks to himself. But perhaps they tried to cover it. He will respect their privacy and will respect their face and not comment, he says out loud.
All right. Little and Sick, you guys notice the marks on the bridge noted previous. You see that the slashing and piercing marks that were kind of sanded over and stained over. You also hear a rustling in the branches of one of the trees nearby. As you look up, you catch a glimpse of a small squirrel or chipmunk-like creature jumping to the tree next to it before it settles and watches your party walk by.
I hold out a blackberry. Say, you there, little friend. Come
Yes?
here. Let me
Oh.
speak with you.
Sorry.
The smaller of the little friends currently present.
I point to him. They mean you.
And then Callie, I had a special one for someone who got a nat 20. You see all the things I mentioned previously, including the small creature. And as Sick is holding out this little blackberry, you see the creature kind of like starting to lean forward. And you notice on the hip of this creature seems to be a small dagger. And it just kind of sniffs towards Sick's general direction before like turning tail and kind of going and hopping off into the forest.
Well, what a rude little thing. Like,
No,
I mean, somebody is offering you food, you obviously have to take it. Like, that's only polite.
And usually such small beasts enjoy small treats.
And also, just so we're all aware, I hope it wasn't hoping to accost us since it did have a dagger. Although I was looking for a fun wrestling competition.
I would say let's have Sick, Little, and Tool go ahead, give me nature checks, please.
Do we make these at advantage or no?
No, just regular. And at the mention of like a little creature and seeing that you're holding up a little blackberry, Isabella turns and she goes, I wonder if you saw there were native creatures who lived in this area previous to us like building this bridge and this pathway. I want to say they were named like truffles or something like that. And as Isabella mentions truffles, Little and Tool, it kind of clicks in your brain. You recognize the name, but it's not truffles. It's actually Chiffl. Chiffles are small humanoid-like creatures who can be very territorial and have often been known to push back and be mischievous or just be like take on the wary wanderer who might have been going through their own territory, essentially. Yeah, so Chiffl. Like, you actually spelled it correctly, Jay. Chiffl.
I have few talents in this world.
I feel like Sick and several of us share a knowing look at how incorrect and abhorrent the mispronunciation of that term was. To a fellow island dweller.
Well, as you all kind of pause for a second, just kind of watch probably like the errant tree branch that Chiffl had jumped away from before it starts pausing and stop moving, Isabella continues leading your party down the path, which curves back towards the sea, and within the next 20 minutes, the trees thin out and then begin to open up to reveal a beautiful and private sandy beach cove. As your party descends the last of the path down into the sands, the few clouds that are in the sky seem to be fleeing. You can see the resort has set up all the beach things your group might need. including shovels and containers for sandcastle making, lounges for relaxing, umbrellas for shade, and there's even an attendant setting up a tropical-looking drink stand behind a counter. As your party is taking in the sights, Isabella turns towards you all. Well, I'll leave you to relaxing. I'll check in with you all in about an hour or so, and then we'll begin the sandcastle building contest. Please let me know if you need anything. Otherwise, I'll be over there with Cerberus Greywillow, who's making up your drinks right now. And Isabella walks away, leaving your party to relax. And just to give you a look of the cove that you're looking at, this is Turtleback Cove.
That's very pretty.
And that's about like the type of day that you're experiencing right now. Very sunny. Just imagine the umbrellas, the lounges, nice little, intimate cove. Yeah, exactly. Oh, bless you.
Bless you.
That was in character. That was, attack. You guys, I got you all with that one.
A few of the feathers, maybe from the pigeons, just kind of seemingly floated and then went up Little's nose.
Walks out to that kind of rocky outcrop and sits down and begins to meditate to connect with the place where he is, and just starts a small conversation with the seaweed, just to ask, how it's doing, what this place is like. Has it been here its whole life?
Whatever its troubles and woes.
Yeah.
Just for funsies.
What ebbs and flows.
What are its ebbs and flows?
The first good pun of the evening. Well done.
Achievement unlocked.
Yeah.
But also,
Good puns and bad puns.
I give
That's what we're here for
puns, unfortunately. So I think, Callie, were you the first one to say that one? Or was that?
The ebb and flow, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Now she's trying not to own it.
Yeah.
Of course, no. I would never. No.
It could have been anyone.
You are a champion.
It pains me to say it, but Callie, go ahead, take that inspiration.
Oh, that's the best punishment.
Yeah.
Was that a pun, Joe?
Okay, there it is.
Oh, damn, that was an unintentional pun.
Would you say it was pun intentional?
Ooh.
I've unfortunately opened a can of worms.
Yeah.
Alright.
DMP
Inspiration for all.
Quick. Abandoned thread.
No. Claire, you can take inspiration for that one, but that's the last one of this little interaction. You can earn more later. I think Lone and D&D's record is 30 seconds within the session starting, because I was just like, God damn it.
Oof,
All right.
one.
So, Sick, as you are meditating over with the seaweed over by that rocky outcrop, you kind of breathe in the salty air, breathe out, and you can feel the seaweed almost kind of inch closer to you, and some of it seems to kind of perk up, and you get the sense that they're living a pretty cool life, man. The water comes in, gives them sustenance, and then eventually it does go out, but then it always comes back, they're set for life. Yeah. And it's just super, super calming. And as you're sitting there for the next probably 10 or so minutes, they actually start naturally wrapping around your leg like a seaweed wrap would at a spa. And you're feeling really relaxed. All right. Bo, what do you do?
I am settling down at the shore.
Okay.
And making a little nest of seaweed for my seagull's remains, gathering up all the little feathers so I can keep him in one piece long enough to, sculpt some magnificent diorama of our confrontation that will honor this beast.
Is the diorama going to be a part of your sandcastle, or is it separate from?
Oh yeah, it's all going to be sand-based.
Okay, perfect. So we'll just say you're spending the time just kind of preparing for the actual contest, kind of over there, formulating your plan, like picking like the best spot that would be like a good foundation for everything that you want to build in time.
I gotta like stake out my claim over all of the ground.
Exactly. Ape, what are you doing?
Ape walks up to a spot that looks like an appropriate place to build a sandcastle, and stares down at the sand for a few moments as the water laps at his feet, and then he just says, "This sand will be a suitable challenge for a diamond mind and an iron heart. But first he must dig. Dig, yes, he must dig with all of the effort that he can possess." And he pauses, looks around awkwardly, like he's not quite sure where he is. And he starts digging with his hands.
And all of
Sorry, guys, I brought a freak to the party.
Nope.
Heck yeah.
Freaks are totally accepted in this group. In fact, encouraged. Totally encouraged.
Yep.
Let's see. Callie, your character, which is
The Tool.
the Tool. What is Tool doing?
So, Tool, as seeing that there are fruity drinks available, is gonna walk directly over there. Like, this lady could have, like, not been, like, talking and she just beelined over to it. I want to shotgun one of those drinks, make a beeline again for the water, and just start trying to make as big a splashes as I can.
Hell yeah. Okay. So, seeing that you're already coming up like with intent, Grey Willow, the bartender, kind of looks up, already sees what you're asking for, kind of just sets the drink down, and right before you get it, he notices that you're just kind of diving into the drink. He at last minute like plucks the umbrella from it so you don't inhale the umbrella as well, and he just goes, and you're just like, you get a little bit of a brain freeze.
Good.
It's like a citrusy, pineapple-y, like rum-based, lovely, refreshing drink. And you sit there, and then you just look towards the water, your new foe. I want you to give me an athletics check to see, like, you just kind of bum rushing the sea, essentially, to try and, like, make these awesome waves. Oh, good to know, Claire. Thank you. So, as you're kind of running up to the water and splashing it with waves, you, unbeknownst to yourself, kind of ended up, or just not caring, next to Ape. And as you're like throwing the water and Ape is digging a hole, you're filling his hole with water. And you're just like, and Ape, all of a sudden you're starting to get splashed with water, and some of your sand is now just kind of slowly starting to cave in and fill up the nice hole that you've actually started for yourself.
The water is filling up the hole. Where is this water coming from? We're not close to the ocean. I took space specifically back from the waters. This is confusing, confounding. What is it? I can't remember.
This is more water, and all of a sudden you're just completely soaked.
He just kind of turns around slowly.
If not stop splashing and screaming. It is probably horribly, like, inconsiderate to my neighbors who are trying to relax. But this is relaxing.
Probably.
This is how she relaxes. I will not ruin her good time. I will move up the beach. I will find a different spot, and I will dig once more.
And
He plods over and starts...
just like a little, like, just
Yes.
a little trail. Almost like
Yes.
a trench now, kind of being...
Yes.
Perfect. Little, what are you doing?
The prize for this is a manicure, you said, right?
It includes a manicure, but it's an entirely all-expense-paid spa day.
So, when Little was thieving with his family of otters that raised him, which is a weird thing that we're not even going to get into. That's a whole therapy session or 10 that we could break down. He took a lot of things from a lot of people, but he was never able to take a spa day from anybody. So he will be damned if he's letting this spa day get away. So he has laid out he's got his cloak on the ground, all of the silverware I took, all of my various daggers, everything is laid out, all of the tools are arranged, like a surgeon preparing for the operation, single-mindedly envisioning and getting ready to sculpt the winning sandcastle.
That's perfect. And you take that time and you kind of just like I imagine, you know how golfers with their bags be like, I'm not a golfer, but they're like, should I drive it or should I, when they're choosing between the different.
You're now a golfer, actually. Technically, saying that thing made you a golfer.
Really? I've never golfed. I've mini golfed, and I've been like, this is short enough, because height has to do. I don't even know. But you take your time. You're very proud of like that spoon that you stole. You probably even have like a good amount of tools within your thieves kit to do like the cool details, the finer details with your dexterous hands. And with that, I think the last one is Claire back.
Yes.
Perfect. I think I got everybody. Yes, perfect. And you all kind of doing all the different activities that you're doing for the next hour, whether it be preparing or meditating. Eventually you hear a very high-pitched kind of ting, 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 ting. As over near the counter where the bartender is Isabella standing with a glass. And she goes, Cascadia Force, it's time for the sand building contest. Please make your way over here. We have a variety of tools.
Oh, I missed the bell. I'm still splashing.
Tool? Tool?
Nope, just...
Can someone...
As Sick is like getting up and walking from, he'll walk by Tool and say, Miss Tool, I believe the competition is about to begin. If you wish to join it.
This is where like the big dramatic like a Newfie coming out of the water, like just a big spin and like water goes everywhere. It is time.
This was just your warm-up. You are ready.
I'm totally seeing a magical girl like dance spin as well.
I was seeing the Little
Yes!
Mermaid thing.
Yeah.
I was seeing the Little Mermaid hair toss.
All of those things are correct.
All
And
of
the
the
pose
things.
at the end. Callie, did you do a pose?
What, like a... Alright, let me take this off.
Yes.
It's coming. It's coming.
Real life reenactment.
I don't know if y'all saw all the hair go, but it did.
Yes, all
Such
the
a
hair.
switch.
So much
Still
hair.
is. I don't have enough hair
Yeah.
for this.
We saw it go.
And as Sick, as you're like, Miss Tool, and you get Tool's attention, and she turns towards you, you just get plastered with like the water off of her hair. And like, just like an anime, all the water droplets are all sparkling like diamonds. Perfect. And then you all reconvene next to Isabella, who in front of her, there are a variety of different, everyone pretty much has their own set of sand castle building tools. So you have a shovel, you have a pickaxe, you have 3 different sets of different tiered, essentially castle-like, the forming, molds.
Buckets.
That's a word.
We
Buckets.
got buckets.
Dope.
You got
I
buckets.
believe the term you mean is bucket.
There you go. And with that, she looks at you all, and you can see that on the counter of the bartending, where he's kind of behind the counter, you see a dial, and she shows it to you all. Now, you all have 1 hour to do your best sandcastle, and then myself and Grey Willow will come around and judge your sandcastles, and we'll go from there. Now, time starts now. So, for the sandcastle building contest, what you're gonna do is, depending on your character, you probably have a skill that is better than others. We're gonna go down the line, and you're gonna describe to me how your character does that. For example, Tool, being very athletic, might like rage, try and build a hole, and then put it all together. Like that might be your skill. So essentially, you would roll an athletics roll.
Yeah, my goal was just to build the biggest like pile possible. Like that's about, like, I just want it to be the biggest and tallest. Like it has
Perfect.
no like, yeah, there's not gonna be any like uniformity to it. There's gonna be very little style outside of, damn, that's big.
You're gonna actually just use up all of the sand so that the rest of us have nothing to work with.
Right? And this is after shotgunning another drink.
Oh, perfect.
That's what I'm using my
Ooh.
first minute for.
Okay, give me, if you're gonna shotgun, well, it's been another hour. No, you'll be fine. You have pretty high constitution. It's because it's been like an hour since you had your first one. So that's perfect. We'll be doing an athletics roll for you in a second. Let's do, I'll just go down the line. Ape, how are you gonna build your sandcastle?
He's also going to go with athletics, but it's kind of like, it's really weird to watch because he digs, and he digs, and he digs, and he keeps digging. And after a while, you're not sure whether he's digging so much as just punching the dirt.
Mm-hmm. Get down.
Into the ground. You're not far enough in the ground. You're not far enough in the ground.
So
Sorry.
where
He's beginning to lose
where
his
Tool's
composure.
building up, you're disappearing into the.
Yes, he's basically. It's basically like.
Perfect. It's like a reverse castle. I love it.
It's actually like a reverse stepped pyramid thing he's doing into the ground.
Reverse stepped.
That's
Like
actually
the air tribe temple,
it's
where it's like
very creative.
under the ground, hanging from.
That's I like that
Extremely
a
dope.
lot. All right, Bo, how are you going to build your sandcastle?
I'm not really building a castle so much as like the Taj Mahal of seagull tombs. Complete with like a statue in sand of my seagull. Except every time you look at it again, it's gotten more and more just absurd. And now it has like fangs. And every once in a while I'll consult my like, why do I want to call it a penguin? What the hell do I have?
A seagull.
It's a seagull. Yes, I know birds, real good.
No, I don't.
So my seagull just gets more and more absurd, and it has fangs and like talons, like an eagle, and just more and more unrealistic every time I add something to it.
Perfect. So I think for that, because you're more focusing on details, that will be a.
I was gonna say
athletics.
nature, maybe.
Yeah, we could do nature. I think that would be good. Or survival? No, nature. I like nature.
Okay.
Let's go with nature. Little.
Little is attempting to recreate his childhood home when he grew up with the otters and all of the other folk. So Little is creating a caldera of sand, turning it into a lake, and then on top of the lake taking like little twigs and snapping them and building basically a forest surrounding that with like bits of long grass making vines. So it's not so much a castle as it is a veritable Ewok village of twigs, grass, water, and sand. Making full use of the spoon and all of the trees. I'm using like my daggers to do filigree work to show the bark and everything.
Perfect. Totally sounds like a sleight of hand job for you.
That's exactly what it is.
Crazy.
All right.
Perfect. Sick. How are you building your sandcastle?
Sick returns back to the outcropping and bends down to his recent seaweed acquaintances and says, "Would you like to join me in an endeavor of an artistic sort?" And like reaches his arms out and down towards them and like gets an enormous armful of various different types of seaweed and brings them back to the beach. And then like saying like a prayer to them and to the beach, like starts to take his staff and like swirl it around and around, like spiraling up, kind of like if you'd imagine how you create like when you're spinning spaghetti and it kind of creates like a spaghetti mountain, but it's this like slow sculpting process to create Mount Rainier out of various types of seaweed.
Oh, dope.
Ooh.
That's cool.
But it's a collaborative effort between Sick and the seaweed. No, did we lose?
Oh no! Oh no! Anarchy reigns! There's nobody to be in charge of us! There's no DM! What do we do?
What do we? All right.
Alright.
Time to take over the
From
island.
the story games All right, how's it going, folks?
No, we need to roll the dice. How do I roll
for
a panic?
anarchy.
Yeah,
Roll
what's
for
a
anarchy.
panic check?
Oh, I would probably go with wisdom.
Yeah, it's definitely a wisdom save. It's not going to be good though. I got it. Man,
Oh,
my
not
dice are
bad.
hot. You guys, my dice are hot tonight.
All right, I'll join you on this
I'll do a
wisdom
wisdom
save.
saving throw.
Oh dear. Oh.
Oh
Another
man,
nat
I'm
20.
cool as a cucumber. We're doing okay without this.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know what to do.
Oh yeah,
So far, no one's panicked, according to the saves. Nobody's
with
panicked.
Shane gone, I've actually lost my sheet.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, I can't find my sheet.
Is
But there we
He
go.
is
There we
definitely
go.
panicking.
Nope, there we go. I got it.
That sounded like a panic fail to me.
That's a 15 wisdom save.
All right.
I say since we all beat 10, like that seems like a good DC.
Is
Like-
my save showing up? There we go.
Oh my lord.
Oh sweet. Okay.
We're all nobody panics.
Do we have a way to get in touch with Shane?
You have
I
a-
am actually checking the Facebook chat right now.
As she said, her internet dropped.
Okay.
I told her her services are no longer required.
Yeah.
And
Alright,
over.
so I
Excellent. Oh, there we go.
Oh, everyone. Okay.
Okay, so she's
There we go.
on Zoom.
Our
There
fearless leader has returned.
You're on mute, and you're on mute, boss. Shane, still on mute. Shane, you're still on mute.
Oh, wait. Ha.
Yep, there you are.
Yo.
Yay!
Now we can hear you.
Fortunately, since you guys are panelists, the Zoom call kept going.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna get to go back and see what y'all were doing.
Oh, it was horrible.
Yeah.
We were
Like
both
we all
cool.
just started
Totally
fighting
good.
and calling names. Oh,
Callie
was
suggested
Joe's
a
fault.
style PvP.
I mean,
Eagles
I
are
miss
everywhere.
fighting so much, y'all.
It's really
I
good
miss
when
Swordsquatch.
Callie, someday we're gonna wrestle. It's gonna be so good.
I miss all of you.
No.
I miss all of you.
I just want to go idiot savant because I don't know very much about wrestling, but apparently I'm
I don't
decent at
care.
it.
It doesn't
I
matter.
love wrestling so much.
It's so good.
Back to the sandcastle building contest.
Mm.
Claire, your character Sick was the last thing I heard was you were putting your arms down to have the seaweed or get like a bundle of seaweed.
I get to
That was-
describe this again. This
Yeah.
is great. So I call upon my new seaweed friends to join me in this endeavor. And I reach down and grab an armload of all sorts of different types of seaweed. There's like little bubble ones, and there's kelps, and there's sea lettuce, and there's also different colors. And I bring them to start making this giant pile of seaweed. And then I take my monk's staff and start like swirling it in that, and it starts to form, it starts to like knot and spiral upwards, similar to how like when you take a fork and spiral noodles, like spaghetti, it like mounds up a little bit. And I start
Spaghetti
sculpting
mountain.
like Mount Rainier out of seaweed.
Oh hell yeah! Let's do.
Acrobatics?
Sure. Yeah, that's dexterous. So as you're like bringing this like little conclave of seaweed from the side to build this Mount Rainier, for a second you could have sworn you heard multiple "ee" as they're all like happy, as you know, like the little air bubbles. You kind of like squeeze them in joy, and they all go wee as you're taking them to your spot on the sand, and you start carving it out. All right, I think I hit everybody of how they're going to build their sandcastle, and I told you what to roll. So let's have everybody go ahead and roll.
We did already. We rolled as you asked us.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
That-
everybody
Yeah.
rolled.
It is
done.
okay. So it is a bunch of
Wisdom
wisdom
saves.
saves because we were
Yeah,
trying to
those
see
were
if
our
we were
panic
panicking or
saves.
not.
Yeah.
That's
We did
every
everything.
morning. I was like, can
We
you
were
see
really
me?
calm.
But if you go back up, you see our actual checks as we were describing them.
Oh, perfect. Let's see. Oh yeah. So Callie, Tool got 16.
Sounds about right.
That's right. Okay.
It's big, but it's less
Oh, my
impressive than
Lanta.
what I was really hoping for.
Okay. Oh, look at that.
Isn't that always the case?
Oof.
So, all right, I'll go one by one, and I'm gonna save a certain someone for last. So Tool, you create this mass over the next hour. You just start combing through all the different sand. It's weird. It kind of creates this divot before it builds up because you're just pulling all of the sand from all of the areas. At one point, Bo has to like glare at you to be like, don't come over here. You know, everyone kind of pockets their, or like, is very protective of their different area.
Start
And by the
drawing
time-
lines
Gold feathers
around
to
where I
like
can and
delineate my
can't.
territory.
Yeah, you create a very defined border of like, don't you fucking... and it's actually
Mine.
This is a no touching zone.
so
Good one.
Good reference.
Mine.
Good reference.
Top score. Definite top
and
score.
Bo, it actually having a little bit of a divot kind of adds to the aesthetic of what you have going on. It looks pretty well put together. You're feeling like this funeral is going to be so good for this seagull that you caught earlier that day. You're feeling really good about the details that you made. And you know, when the judges start coming around, the coup de grace is setting, like, you're going to have like whole pyre thing going, setting the seagull on fire. So you're just kind of waiting. So Tool, your mountain of sand, that is your castle, it is like probably, I would say you're like 6'2" or something. I put you as one of the taller squatches. It's probably nearing probably 8 feet tall. You, at the end, you're just pushing sand up and trying to get up on top and like patting everything down before you kind of fall down, and then you keep moving sand up and patting it down. Moving on to the reverse side. It's from where you started is kind of where you were in the water, and a little bit of a inadvertent canal kind of started as Ape had done their own like tunnel before they eventually started doing the reverse. So it's kind of like a nice little river before it gets to where Ape, no one can see you. You're completely, there's just massive hole. And towards the end of the hour, you're able to, whatever shape that you wanted to, excuse me, there's a cat trying to get into the closet. Nope.
Kitty.
Kitties.
Kitty. Big kitty.
Today.
Donkey Caddy.
Oof. So towards the end of the hour, you're able to essentially, if you wanted it to be like a reverse triangle or like a square, you kind of have like your own little cavern, this reverse like looking kind of cool thing. And you actually have like a nice looking ceiling kind of overhang going on too.
Down in the depths. Down in the depths, he finds wisdom and peace. It is dark and comfortable. He will rest now
And it's
in
quite
this hole that he has made.
You just made a napping cave.
essentially. It looks very pretty as you, and it's nice, and it's like, it's cooler than it is on the surface, and you're feeling quite proud of yourself. Now, Little, oh my Lanta, did you create this wonderful, like, essentially replica of all like the forest and the lake? And what's even more perfect for what's going on with you is kind of off to the side is Sick, making the Mount Rainier out of seaweed, and it totally just blends in and adds. And you kind of start like seeing what Sick is doing. You slyly start like building trees closer and closer to Sick's like mountain before it just looks like Sick's mountain of seaweed is also just, it's all just one diorama. And you've got like nice little rivers. And you're able to even like hide some of the silver that you had taken to make it look like the actual diorama is sparkling at some points, like glittering. So it has this like really cool like aesthetic to it. Now let's see, I think, did I hit everybody? Yep. And then Sick, you are able to make a pretty good, like well impressive Mount Rainier seaweed castle type thing. And it takes a little bit of time because the seaweed was actually fairly wet, but closer to the end of the hour, it dries up enough that it you know, there's like all these different colors of greens going on that it looks very Pacific Northwest. And every once in a while, there's like a slight little wind that kind of whips through, and you hear like a slight like, ah, like, and it's very calming, just standing right next. And you're just, you're proudly able to stand by it, and it's probably up to your shoulders with like the amount of torque that you're able to get to like noodle this thing into the triangle that is Mount Rainier. Now, at the end of the mountain, you hear another, or not mountain, at the end of the hour, you guys hear another like ting, 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 ting coming from Isabella, letting you all, time's up, everybody hands up in the air, no more digging. Anybody seen Ape?
Time for a new drink.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And Grey Willow, the attendant, goes around, gives you 2 drinks.
Very good.
One for each hand. And everyone's kind of looking like, anyone seen Ape? And then Isabel just falls into the hole and oh, hey, Abe.
He wakes.
I'm sorry. I did not. This is very impressive. You did this in an hour?
I was tired.
I would actually argue that you weren't tired, considering how much energy you spent doing this. Well,
I was motivated.
Oh, this is
My tiredness.
Yes. Well, we do have lounges, and you know what? A lounge would probably fit inside of here if you want to, take a nap after we do the announcements and everything. Or if you just want to skip it, you're welcome to take a nap now. Do you want me to bring you a lounge chair?
I will emerge.
Oh.
It is time to join the daylight,
Yes.
he says.
It's very bright out there. And slowly she comes up from the depths below of Ape's like reverse sandcastle.
Ape follows very, very like looking around and squinting.
It's very bright.
I should have brought my straw hat.
You were very upset that you left that behind this morning. You did not expect it to be so bright.
No, it is not. It is not. So bright. Bright like the lands of Eastern Washington.
It kind of, except for like the sea or the saltwater smell, yeah, the heat feels like that today. Now, as Grey Willow and Isabella kind of goes around, and you can see them like marking various points on a clipboard, kind of scoring everybody's sandcastles. Little, when they get to you, they're very impressed. They're like, wow, there's so much detail, and oh my god, you can see the otters, and there's even like other little wildland, like, oh my gosh, there's you, wait, is this your family? They ask you all sorts of questions. And the last sandcastle they get to is Beau's. And Beau, as you're about to like get everything all set up, you can see that they're talking to Little for a little like longer than what you had expected. Out of the corner of your eye, you see a flurry of feathers. And then you're like, no, like that's just like the sun playing with me. That's not as close as I thought. And then all of a sudden, as Isabella and Grey Willow are getting like walking up to you, and you're doing like the right moment where you light the seagull on fire, all of a sudden, poof, 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 this massive seagull just completely falls onto your sandcastle. And then you see like what was weighing it down weirdly was this green like bottle that has like a cork at the end of it. And then the seagull kind of hops up, like caws at you, ah! And like tries and goes for the bottle. What do?
I wrestle the seagull for the bottle.
All right, go ahead, give me a dex check, please. And I will roll a dex check for the seagull.
Oof, nice.
I wrestled the fuck out of that seagull.
Oh my god, that's
I love when that thing. Just
so many nat 20s.
I told you I was saving the good rolls
Jesus.
for something
Yeah.
important.
you called
The
it.
bottle-
You totally called it.
The bottle
Clutch
torch
seagull
landed
wrestling.
right next to your feet, and you just look at the seagull and you stare it down, and keeping that stare, you just lean down and snatch the bottle before the seagull just kind of like glares at you and flaps its wings, and with the flap it kind of knocks over some other pieces and just like lets out a little turd, and then it flies off. But now you have this mysterious green tinted bottle, and as you're holding it, it's got some weight to it. It seems to have somewhere like it was in the water. You can see that there's like little droplets on the outside of it, and it's got a cork at the end, and if you peer closely enough, you see it seems that there's some paper or parchment on the inside of the bottle.
Ooh. So I want to hold it up and look through it, inspect it, see if I can make out exactly what's inside it, what it might be or say before I just rip that open. Not completely.
Right. You want to like inspect it before you make any moves to open it.
Yes.
Go ahead, give me an investigation check, please. It looks like, you know what? A message in a bottle. It looks like some sort of papers in there. It seems pretty airtight. You don't see any water. There's like a cork on the end. It's pretty cool.
Well, that's good enough for me. I definitely want to open it now.
Okay. You know, it takes a little bit of like gusto to like pull the cork off, but sure enough you do. And you're able to kind of tilt the bottle, and a heavy piece of parchment kind of thumps out as you pour it into your hand.
Can I unroll it now and read it out loud?
Totally. So when you pull out the parchment inside the bottle, there is writing in common scrawled on it that reads, "Dear reader, if you have this message, then this does not bode well for me. My name is Bierson Blacklim. I set off with a minimal crew in the hopes of tracking down the Twilight Shard. We've been at this many years, and it was only a week ago that I found a true lead. I've gotten to know these San Juans quite well in my travels, both geographically and ecologically speaking. But 2 days ago, a new first occurred. We'd been making our way towards the Rosario Strait as the sun was setting when we noticed a mist rising. Through the mist, we began seeing an island that shouldn't be there. The island itself seemed to be shaped like an octopus, so much so that it had beaches for legs that reached out to the sea, and when we began to approach, a massive snake-like creature revealed itself from the depths of the water, the likes of which I've never seen in my adventures. Fortunately, we were able to make our escape, but as night fell, the mist disappeared, and so too did the island. Last evening, we decided to stay a distance away and see if this phenomenon happened again, and it did. We did not dare venture forward without a plan, but seeing this occurrence gave me hope. We made plans, prepped as best we could, and tonight we plan to try for this island again. This is where you, dear reader, come in. If you're reading this and have not heard tale of how Bierson Blacklim and his crew recovered the Twilight Shard, then I did not survive. If you are a Sasquatch and or an adventuring type, then you know the importance of recovering the Twilight Shard. And I bid you, make way to that area better prepared than I was. I know the Twilight Shard is on that island. I am staking my life on it. If you are not either of those, please take this message to Iris Iron Trunk. She's a Swordsquatch with the Cascadia force, and will know what to do. Safe travels, dear reader. Bierson Blacklim.
Have we heard of Bierson Blackwood?
Let's see. Bierson.
Blacklim?
Everyone, go ahead. Make history checks for me, please. Oof. Oof.
These digidice, I tell you.
Right?
Yeah, it's not too bad.
We've had some 20s. So I would say, Sick, you rolled under a 10, but historically speaking, you're old. So
Historically speaking,
You're old.
so you've actually served on the force with Bierson many years ago. You were still
It's old dude.
yeah. You were actually still probably the oldest on the force when Bierson was around, but Bierson was around the age of Iron Trunk. And Iron Trunk is currently essentially like your commander-in-chief of the Cascadia force. Tool, you probably heard the name, but like this dude's been missing for a while, you don't even know. Everybody else, you've heard of Bierson. He was a pretty darn famous Sasquatch on the Cascadia force specifically. He was one hell of an adventurer. He is from like the San Juan area, and He disappeared about, I would say, 20 or so years ago. The last known location of Beerson was in the San Juans looking for the Twilight Shard. And no one needs to do a history check on the Twilight Shard because I'm about to do another info dump on y'all. So the Twilight Shard is a very well-known artifact within Sasquatch lore. Legends say the shard fell from the sky and landed somewhere in the lands of Oregania. A young Sasquatch was the first to happen upon the shard. A short time passed and they found themselves stronger and more confident with the shard in their possession. It was also during this time that many clans of Sasquatches were at odds. Feeling the weight of their future, they brought together a group of their friends who they grew up with. The friends were from all different clans, and together they worked out a plan to end all of the feuds and come under one Sasquatch banner. In their camaraderie, they soon discovered the shard was bolstering each member in various ways, from strength to quickness to keen of mind. They visited each clan and completed tasks as a group to show the elders their might granted from their friendship. It wasn't long before all of the clans agreed to a stalemate and lay petty issues aside. For their effort, the young warriors were granted the ability to continue their work and create a group whose sacred duty was to protect the clans from threats, both internal and external. Thus, the first Swordsquatch force was created. Many generations passed, and while the founding members were able to rest eternally at the end of their long life, they passed the shard to the next generation. The shard's home was always with the first force, the Swordsquatch Portlandia force. That was until one fateful night it was stolen. It didn't take long to discover it was an angered Sasquatch who did not make it into the Swordsquatch ranks who stole the shard. His name was D.B. Cunningleaf. Cunningleaf was tracked far into the north into the San Juans, where the trail was ultimately lost. The loss of the Twilight Shard did not turn the clans on each other. In fact, in many ways, it strengthened their ties. However, the shard has never been forgotten. To this day, Sasquatches head to the San Juan Islands on a treasure hunt to find the shard, but none have yet to return with it in hand. So there's that handout for the Legend of the Twilight Shard.
Shiny.
Very shiny. And the picture's like this big, but I would say it's probably, gosh, I have small hands. My small hands, it's like the length from like my palm to my middle finger is about the size of the shard.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
Everybody holds
And
up
we're all
their
like,
hand.
I was trying to guess how much of a rondel dagger that is. Is that like
You know what? We'll say
70% of a rondel?
I would say it's the blade of a rondo.
There we go.
Okay, yeah.
Which
our
like,
audience, they can relate
for
to that.
Sasquatches is quite small.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like a I don't know, a pen for a Sasquatch.
So, as you just got done finishing reading that, Bo, Isabella looks up from her clipboard and goes, "I am happy to announce the winner of your group's sand castle building contest is Little. Little, congratulations! You won a day at our world-renowned spa. You don't have to do it tomorrow. You can do it anytime during your stay. It seems your friend Bo might have found something."
Little's leather boots, which I assume he has, even though he's a Sasquatch, are already off because he does not understand that spas are like a thing you go to. He thought they were a thing that can be earned. So as soon as you said win, he's like, tunic off, gear on the ground,
I'm ready.
toes in the air,
Balmy.
awaiting
Body
spa.
is ready.
Yep, bring spa to Little.
On one hand, he has failed to secure the spa day and the desired manicure. On the other hand, he has a nice hole in the ground.
Tool looks at her castle. It's so big. How did it not win? It is so big. It is the biggest castle. I thought that was the point. You make the biggest castle, you make the best castle.
One single tear.
Ape puts a hand on Little's shoulder and says,
He comforts his friend, saying, "It is all right. Biggest is not always best." It is no reflection upon your character, he
Big.
says.
Well, I guess it was the biggest, and that's what's important. I'm gonna pat your hand as it's on my shoulder.
Gratitude. That is a glass bottle. Where did that come from?
I fought a seagull.
Another one or the same one?
Not really clear, but I definitely won this, which is probably better than a spa day. Like, look at it. It's all shiny.
May
And I
I
have a
may I
letter.
see that note?
I'll hand over the note.
I would just like to point out that all of Bo's character development this session has come from battling seagulls, and it's absolutely wonderful.
Best thing.
That's why I giggled, because the one who lost the roll is the one who gets bombed by a seagull, and it was Bo.
Oh, it's
It's
amazing.
meant to be.
Oh, my face hurts from laughing.
I just want a t-shirt coming out of tonight that says character development via seagull, and it's just like Sick reads over the note, and upon noticing the name of his prior colleague, and like having finally perhaps an answer as to where they had gone, Sick turns to the rest of them and saying, well, if you're all done building castles and getting manicures, perhaps we might have some more interesting activities ahead of us.
West. He is
And,
intrigued.
Hands the note back to Bo, and then proceeds to tell like a tale of Brinson's heroics from back when they were on the force together.
Ape is weeping by the end.
Aw. Which, you know
With
what?
the beauty of it.
Here's the other character art I get to share with you all. And it's perfect because, Sick, you actually know what Bierson looks like.
Oh, look at that chap.
And be sure to also, the tale also includes how he got that hat.
That they damn well better.
Pearson absolutely fucks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. AF.
He's a pretty cool dude.
Wait, so Shane, I might have missed this. How long ago did Bierson did he go missing?
20
Do we
years.
know? 20 years?
Yeah.
All right.
Give or take a year.
Yeah.
But actually, Sick would know. It's like 20 years ago.
My friend Bierson was a good Sasquatch. You would all have been incredibly benefited by his tutelage as well. Both wise, cunning, and formidable in combat. And perhaps he still is formidable in combat, just unable to return to us.
Seeing that your group is kind of at this point gotten closer and closer to Bo and kind of powwowing, Isabella comes up and goes, "Are you changing your itinerary? Where are you all off to?"
We need a boat.
Oh, yes, we can provide one. You have the boat that you arrived on. It's a keel boat. You all know how to essentially navigate that one. You all know how to navigate that one. And we'll go into like ship crew and like roles in a second. Isabella goes, so if there's any supplies, I mean, I'm your personal attendant for these 10 days. So I, if it's okay, I would like to go with you on this adventure. And she pats her rapier on her side.
We
I'm
quest
always-
for the crystal shard or whatever it is. We are to find a missing man. Do you have the medal?
I do. The Twilight Shard? You know where the Twilight Shard is?
'Tis on the octopus-shaped island.
You lost me. There's no octopus-shaped island in the San Juans.
There is now.
Huh.
The man in the bottle told us.
Okay.
Technically speaking, he says, it was not within the bottle. It was his words that were in the bottle. The bottle.
Well,
Isabella, do you remember me telling you stories of my friend Brinson when you were younger?
Beerson, Blacklim, yes. He's just a tale. He's real?
As real as you and I.
That's very exciting. Where is he?
I look over at Tool, who spoke so excitedly about the octopus she got.
Oh! Well, but there's no octopus. Well, did he give you any clue or like landmass with like a marker that we should go to?
Little is giving her the stink eye and assessing her interest in attempting to journey with us. No one ever just wants to come on an adventure. They're dangerous, people die, so he's watching her and her responses to these questions.
Why would you want to leave all the glorious food?
Right. Go ahead, give me an insight check, Little.
16.
She seems like, other than the fact that she's, an older Sasquatch working at a resort, she seems very genuine in excitement and just going on an adventure. Perhaps this is just something new in comparison to like the everyday, like working at a hotel is like where seeing everyone on vacation is not all it's meant. Like she actually is genuinely excited to like get out potentially. Whether or not she can hold her own, that's questionable. But her excitement is genuine. She doesn't seem to be like seedy or lying or distrustful in her statement. Well, if you have a location, I'm sure we can give you as much supplies as you need back at the resort. We just have to probably pack up everything now and go. It's about, I would say 10:30 in the morning. We could probably get back to the resort around 11:30.
Nobody told me there was going to be day drinking.
We can make sure to put some rum on the ship for sure for the travel, so you won't just have water.
Let us go.
All right, follow me, and she takes you in the reverse back up the trail, through the woods, back to that original bridge. And I need everyone to go ahead and give me another perception check as you reach that bridge once more.
As we're walking, I'm telling more tales of Brinson. Specifically, like slightly less flattering ones, like ones of him being foolish and making errors of impulsivity.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not paying as much attention when it comes to the bridge.
All right. Since you won't be paying as much attention, go ahead, give me another roll, and we'll say it's at disadvantage as you're just kind of being the... Okay, so we'll take the 10. So
that's a big difference. That's a big difference.
Big difference.
Yeah.
All right. So as you guys get back to the bridge, what is your marching order? And I'm actually going to switch maps real quick.
Little is sulking because he was truly under the belief that he would receive the alleged spa day on site. So he is probably like 5 feet further than is reasonable, sulking along behind everybody.
Okay.
Ape, I'd say Ape can take lead.
Okay.
Bo can be right there toward the front too. Now that, he's distracted from the seagulls,
Mm-hmm.
and suddenly like just flips into this really purposeful kind of move, completely at odds with how he was earlier.
Perfect. Tool, where would you like to be?
I guess I will be somewhere kind of in the middle then, just so like I'm not, I'm not lagging behind, but I'm just kind of keeping up with the group.
Right.
I'll be trying to cheer up Little with the story, so I'll hang back with Little as well.
As you guys round the bend, those of you that rolled an 18 or higher, you start to notice it's very quiet. Where before you could hear more than just the sound of the creek kind of running on by. You could hear various parts of the forest, other birds chirping, other, just, I would say, ambient foresty noises, but it's very quiet. And then you remember the Chiffles that were in the trees previous, and you look up and you see now 3 Chiffles, daggers out, and they're all looking at each other. And then all of a sudden they take a deep breath. And those of you that rolled under an 18, you actually don't have to roll this, but I would say Sick will have to roll, and Tool. Sick, I think that's it. Sick, Tool, and Ape.
Wait. Little got a 20. Do you want?
Who got a 20?
For perception, I got a 22. Am I low or high?
Oh, sorry.
Am I rolling or not?
No, you're good. I'm just looking at people who basically got a 17 or below. Give me a wisdom saving throw. As those of you see the Chiffles take a deep breath, and they let out this like mesmerizing chirp that you're able to cover your ears. But those of you that were distracted, unfortunately, were not. And I'm gonna plop those guys on the map.
How big are these compared to us?
They are considered small.
Okay.
And you guys are considered medium, but you can like lift large things. These guys are up in the tree. So, I would say they're the equivalent of probably a average or a smaller than average raccoon.
Wow, so they're harder to hit for us.
Yeah, they're up in the trees. So let's see. Sick, you make it. You're able to steal your mind. Tool, you find yourself just completely frozen in space. You are in effect. Where is it? You are stunned until the end of the next turn. Now, there's going to be, that was their surprise round, and those of you that noticed it, that was part of the surprise. You don't get any actions or anything. Your kind of action was covering your ears in reaction to seeing them. So what we're going to do next, in Roll20, I'm going to turn on the turn tracker. I want you guys to make sure that you have your token tapped on. And then in your character sheet, click on the initiative word. And it will automatically put you in that turn order for me.
We're going to click on the token first.
Yes, just make sure your token is highlighted, please.
I have never rolled a 20 for initiative in my entire life, and I've been gaming for like decades.
That's so funny. I remember you mentioning that when we played the Cascadia con.
Yeah, like I legit never roll well on initiative. I think that means I'm gonna die. So
This was your one good roll.
I don't have a good feeling
Then
about
get a
this.
manicure first.
I know, right? Rip.
You have to live. You have to get the
Before I
manicure.
get my manicure.
You have a reason to survive.
Must make it through
All right.
for toes.
All right. Top of the round. Little, your turn.
All right, these things are wailing. They're little tiny banshee hamsters, and I am going to. I'm going to dart on the far side of the tree. So this guy's up in a tree, right?
Yes.
This one.
Good point. They're probably, I would say, let's say 15 feet up in the tree. All of them are equal 15 feet in the tree.
All right, so I'm going to draw my short bow.
Okay.
And attempt to use my action, if I'm allowed, to basically hide on the other side of the tree, such that I'm basically trying to use the hide action, but to do a child's game of running around the tree so that they can't be seen, such that I can pop out at an opportune time.
Totally. So you are a rogue, so you actually get to use the hide action as a bonus action.
Bonus action. Yep.
So go ahead, roll me a stealth roll, and I'll roll a perception check for this Chiffl to see if they'll be able to see you. Oh yeah. So it seems to be chirping, and it just like completely misses where you kind of duck under the tree. So now you are effectively hidden. You take out your bow, and you are welcome to take a shot.
You can take. Oh, Christmas came early. All right. With advantage, correct?
Correct.
All right. Here we go. That won't.
And that will hit. And there should be on your character sheet a sneak attack option to just hit the button for this. Dang.
Nice.
That's 19 little damage to that sneaky little bastard up in the tree.
Yeah, you did total of that. You just completely get around the tree, take aim, kind of like blend in, loose your arrow, and it just completely, you hear this like noise as you just completely embed your arrow in the back shoulder blade of this Chiffl. And it just looks down and glares at you. And you know when squirrels like do the chittering thing with their tail kind of poofed out? That's what it's doing at you right now. And it's very much aware of where you are.
I mainly did it to shut it up because it was screeching something fierce and driving everybody insane.
It was. All right. So you still have movement. I believe.
I technically said I'm going to dart up to that tree, so I'll call that as my move.
All right. That brings us to Tool. You are effectively stunned.
Yep.
So you just spend your turn kind of like frozen in like mid footstep, kind of grimacing a little bit. Sick, your turn.
Sick spins around and faces the same critter that this one here that Little just attacked, and it's up in a tree, right?
Yes.
And Sick just like throws 2 direct punches into the trunk of the tree to try and knock it out of the tree.
Oh heck yes.
Boom.
Go ahead.
Boom.
Give me. Yeah, your fists are freaking weapons. Attack that tree and let me see it.
Doop and doop.
Perfect. I will have the Chiffl do like a dex save. And what you should have some sort of DC on your
Low.
I believe, as a monk.
Let's see here.
Might be on your spell side.
Spells, yeah. I don't have a spell save DC.
Okay. Let's see. Your buffer is, so it's 8 plus 3 is 11 plus 3, so 14. So it has to be at a 14 dex save, or it's going to get knocked out of the tree and be prone and take damage from that. It does not have the dex save skill, so here we go. Nope, that doesn't beat it. So out falls this guy, prone, and I'll spin his token upside down. So he just kind of like mid chirp goes and just and he's gonna take 2d6 bludgeoning damage falling out of the tree.
Oh, was that the one that Little attacked?
No, yeah, they wanted to attack that one.
Oh,
I thought, yeah, that it was this upper one.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope, apologies. That's my bad. This one will fall out of the tree. We'll put him right here, upside down.
Awesome.
Goodness, and how much did it take? 7 damage. Whoo, hoo, hoo. Yeah, you hear a sickening crunch as definitely a few ribs are broken and his noggin kind of gets wrung a little bit from landing on the ground.
Oh! I just wanted to fuck off.
Yeah. All right, so that creature is knocked prone. You beat up the tree a little bit. You can definitely see fist imprints on the tree.
You apologize to that tree.
It's true, I will. When I have a minute.
You're like, I'm sorry.
So bonus
I'm
action.
sorry about this. I'm sorry about this.
It hurts me more than it hurts you.
Do you want to move anywhere?
Yeah, I'm gonna move to right by that little fallen critter, so that if it tries to go anywhere else, I get an attack of opportunity.
Heck yes, you will. All right, that brings us to Ape.
Am I stunned?
I believe you are.
Okay.
Okay, so that brings us to Bo.
So I am gonna target this one here. Let me do the thing. I don't know how to make it do the thing.
You click and hold. This guy?
The middle one. Yeah, that guy.
Okay.
How'd you do that again? I forgot.
Click and hold. Just press the button.
There we go.
Don't try to move it. Yeah.
So I'm gonna attack that guy.
Okay.
And for my bonus action, I'm gonna lead with that and designate it with Slayer's Prey. So I get an extra, 1d6 damage.
Okay.
Nice.
So I'm gonna shoot it with my longbow.
Pew pew.
Hold on. Let me find
Feels
the
like
button.
we're fighting Reapacheep.
Oh no!
How would you say that? No.
I can't unsee
The
it.
thing.
Oh. Oosh.
It's a
One
good
arrow
shot.
goes by, glances off his shoulder.
And I get another thing of damage too.
Yes, you do. Oh, and then 2 additional. Perfect. And you also have another attack.
I also have another attack.
Yep.
So I whip out another arrow. They're
Okay.
all fletched with seagull feathers. And I attach it again.
This one just like arcs completely wide as the Chiffl kind of ducks down and hugs the branch that it's on, just kind of chirping in your direction. And with that, you do have movement. If you want to use it, you should have 30 feet. So that's 5 feet per square.
So that one is just hanging on to its branch.
Yeah, it's like 15 feet up. It was standing on a branch kind of next to it, and then it just leaned down.
Okay.
That was the flavor of you missing.
Okay. There's the one like directly to the front of me or the south of the map. Do
Mhm.
I have like a sight line on that one as well?
Yes, now you do. With that
Okay.
perception checks that you guys got, you kind of looked around, and it's like those little beady eyes from the trees.
Okay.
You're able to like pew 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 see everything.
Yeah, as long as I have a sight line on all of them, Bo is content to kind of stay where he is and just cover with his bow.
All right, perfect. It is their turn. So, with the start of their turn, if they haven't already fallen out of a tree or taken damage, the chirping stops. Let's see. You know what? I did not roll for Isabella, so I'm just going to roll for her real quick. And I'll just have her go after Chiffl's go. All right. Chiffl 1, who got knocked prone, is going to use half of its movement to stand back up. So it's got 15 feet of movement left. It's going to take out one of its daggers, and it's just going to look at you sick and kind of twirl it before jumping and trying to do like a leap jump to try and get you in your chest.
Now, does this count as a missile, given that it is flying at me?
It's holding on to...
And tiny. They are small.
Yeah, man. I've shot arrows bigger than a squirrel.
Literally or in character?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that because I know what you're trying to do because you can catch missiles. Well, let's see if it hits first.
Sure.
Yes, Claire. Asking the right
That's a
question.
nat 1, but you know what? Because of that nat 1, that's exactly what you do. It goes to jump up, and it just barely gets up in the air before you just whoosh, you hold onto its wrists, and it's dangling, and it's just like.
The question is, do I throw it or do I just hold on to it? I think I'm just gonna hold on to it. I don't.
Okay. That's that one's turn.
Just like body slam.
Let's see. This one is gonna take out its short bow, and seeing that, let's see, who would it do? Ape is the closest one to it. Is going to have advantage because you are what? No, it's a ranged attack. You don't get advantage on range. It'll just be a regular attack. That was me working out the rules in my head. Sorry, ignore the dagger. It's supposed to be a short bow. So 23 to hit Ape. Which I
definitely hits.
All right, so you're going to take 8 points of piercing, 7 points of poison for 15 total. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
All right.
These wee ones hit hard.
They carry fast.
Con save.
Save.
There's the con save.
All right. You are...
Ooh.
Oh, so that's what... Sorry. You would have taken the poison damage. Got it. Check. So now you definitely do take the poison damage. So 15 total.
Mm-hmm.
Then this duder is going to try and attack Isabella with their short bow. And Isabella is able to take out her rapier just in time to like deflect the arrow that comes her way, and she takes a defiant stance, a defensive stance, kind of looking at the Chiffl. And that brings us back to Little. And all of you that were stunned, that stun effect drops. So you have complete range of motion again. All right, Little, what do you do?
Sick is literally holding one up, trying to like argue with it, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
It's just like...
Yeah, like remember when Han is like holding, he's like trying to shoot that thing off, or Lando's trying to shoot that thing off Han's leg? No, I got that reversed. It's that. I'm shooting this thing that they're having like an argument, and it's like trying to claw at Sick's face. I'm just putting an arrow right in it.
Go right ahead.
I assume, yeah, I get advantage because...
It's restrained to a degree.
I'll let it happen. All right, 7... Oh, Jesus. How do you want to take this Chiffl out?
I like the idea that Sick is arguing with it, like trying to debate it down, and it has one really just exceedingly vicious, like it starts to lash out, and I've delayed long enough to see if if diplomacy will win the day, and when it doesn't, this little rodent is hit with the full force of the arrow and pulled bodily from Sick's hand, and just flies to the next the next nearest branch, and sticks in it. And Sick is left being like holding maybe just the tail or like some hairs.
I like to imagine that as you loose the arrow, the force of the arrow just took the entire body of the Chiffl out of Sick's hands, and Sick is so dexterous that you were able to not only get some of its fur, but you catch the dagger. So now you have a dagger in your hand, and you hear a twang as the Chiffl's body is just Robin Hood against the trunk of this tree right here. And you just look over and you see Little just being like...
And then needless commando roll to hide behind the base of this tree opposite the other remaining squirrel.
Perfect. All right. I shall roll that perception. So you lean up next to it, and then you kind of lean into the tree a little bit, and you get caught on your own arrow, and you kind of like, and then you're like, shoot, I made a noise, and the Chiffl that's above you just looks down at you and looks at his dead comrade and just looks at you and goes, ah! And takes out its dagger.
Uh-oh. Abe! Abe!
Busy at the moment, feeling nauseous everywhere, including in the brain, which is not a comfortable feeling.
Right, that brings us to Tool.
Right, how far off the ground are these things?
15 feet.
That's kind of tall. All right, let's see what I've got here. Okay, so I hate to do this. How many javelins do I have?
I'll say 2.
Okay.
And you have hand axes too.
And that's another 2 of those?
Yep.
Alright. Let's see what we can do. Goodness. Okay. I'm gonna storm up here, taking out my javelins, and I'm gonna start with throwing one at said squirrel.
Perfect. Yeah, that will hit.
All right. And I've got 2 attacks this turn.
Yes, you do.
So I will do that again.
And that second one hits as well.
Nice.
So it is that Chiffl is in the middle of like chirping down at Little, and you take the moment to just toss one after the other, your left and right arms, and maybe you even do it concurrently, just for fun. And you just you can hear the scream of the Chiffl as you take out some of its backside. It kind of grazes its back and it yells out in like a little bit of pain. And it just like, and it's kind of looking around wide-eyed at its surroundings, seeing that one of its comrades is down and you guys are all kind of closing in faster than it expected. All right. It is Isabella's turn. Does she have a ranged attack? No, she doesn't. I think she is going to just like see all of this happen and slowly retreat a little bit and take her action as a defensive stance. And then Sick, your turn. Holding a dagger and a few fluffs of feather, or not feathers, of fur, tufts of fur.
Now, when you say dagger, I'm presuming it's very small dagger.
Like a letter opener?
Like
Yes, like a letter opener.
Like think of like the maraschino cherry swords.
Yeah.
Why are we killing these things? They're adorable.
I'm also having complicated feelings about that. This is rather upsetting. Sick is not. No, well, I suppose he is a monk and sometimes does monk things. I am going to. Can I move my token today? Yes, I can. I'm gonna move over here and punch some more trees. Also, I was saying, I'm so sorry about this. And once again, try and knock the critter out of the tree.
All right. Okay.
Look, I successfully hit a totally unmoving object.
Yeah.
And it falls out of the tree, probably with the forest right here, prone, next to Tool. And it's going to take 9 points of punching damage. It is barely standing.
Actually, no, I'll save it.
Okay. All right, Ape, your turn.
All right, so I'm no longer stunned.
Correct.
Okay. He's going to look, a little dizzy for a second, and then he is going to turn towards the nearest Chiffl, which I believe is locked up with. Actually, no, he's going to go for the one that's far ahead of him that Isabel just moved the distance out of the way of.
Okay.
Yep, and he's going to lift up one hand, gesturing kind of drunkenly, and he's just going to kind of look at it and go, "Hello, little motherfucker. Firebolt." And then he's going to launch a firebolt at the little critter, and that is an 8.
An 8 goes wide, unfortunately.
Damn it. Too nauseous in the brain.
Fire season!
Yeah.
Oh, no. Joe, how
They have started forest fire. Not good.
You see it kind of like flare up, and the Chiffl just kind of blows on it, and it goes, and it goes out.
Thank you.
You have
Shane.
committed an impropriety that is beyond forgiveness.
All right, Ape, do you want to move anywhere?
Yeah, he's going to move towards the Chiffl.
All right.
full movement, so I think that's should be
Perfect.
about there, base to base.
It is face to face, but it's still up in the tree for you, so it's 15 feet from the tree.
Damn. Well, he'll shoot it from the bottom of the tree.
Perfect. All right. That brings us to Bo.
All right. So Bo, seeing that everybody else seems to have the one Chiffl closest to him well in hand, not in a tree, is going to take aim at the other one that Ape wanted to go for. And I'm going to notch another arrow and use my, what is it called? Slayer's Prey. I'm going to use Slayer's Prey again on this one to mark it, so I get that extra damage, and then I'm going to shoot it twice with my longbow.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
And that's this one, right? The one in front of that's up in a tree?
Yes.
Cool. First one misses. The arrow lands at the feet of the Chiffl on the branch that it's standing on. Second one does hit, so you can roll that additional damage.
Okay.
Perfect.
Murder.
Perfect. Do you want to move anywhere?
So I'm pretty content just staying where I am while everyone else runs around like mad people.
Cool. All right. It is the Chiffl's turn. This one will use half of its speed to stand up. And then you hear like a very kind of like lower pitched, almost like mournful chirp come from this one, kind of signaling to the one in the trees next to Ape. And its ears go flat down its head, and it sheathes its dagger, and it uses its action to disengage and move 15 feet back. 5, 10, 15. And then this guy is going to leap from this tree and take a full retreat. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He lands on the ground over here and kind of waits for his buddy. So that brings us to the top of the round. Little?
Little has no interest in chasing things that are fleeing. I mean, they attacked, but this seems just vicious at that point. So he grunts and hollers at them as they're fleeing, shouting obscenities in every known Sylvan tongue, and calls it a turn.
All right, Tool.
Same. Killing a fleeing opponent is not honorable, nor is it fun.
All right. Isabella just keeps her stance, kind of looking at the Chiffles, at Bo, at the Chiffles, at Tool, just kind of reading your guys' body language. It just holds. Sick?
Sick is gonna remove the impaled Chiffl from the tree, and like hold it in his hands, and just like offer a prayer for its life, and then like put it like on the ground gently, in the hopes that his comrades will retrieve it, that the Chiffl's comrades will retrieve it and give it a proper burial in their own tradition.
Nice.
Little feels guilty as a bonus action.
Ape?
Ape is going to stand there, take 2 staggering steps as he holds out his still smoking outstretched hand, and he's going to say, "He stands, having overcome another difficulty on the field of...
Oh.
Gotta go do some healing on you, buddy.
Yeah. All right, Bo.
Bo's just kind of disgusted by this whole mess. Never mind that, he was the one making the mess earlier. So he just kind of takes a big step back there, even though he's already, a long ways away.
Gotcha. And with that, we reach theirs, and they just take their full turn, leaving the scene, chirping, kind of bounding away. The one that was closest to Little and Tool just kind of shakes a small fist and then exits the scene. Sick, as you pull the arrow from the tree, you realize that there was like a hollowed spot in the tree, and as you pull the arrow out, a bit of the bark kind of comes with it, and it reveals like a hidden cove of where you see like nuts and shiny rocks, and you actually also see 2 shiny flasks of sort, or like little bottles, clear bottles, and they are holding some sort of like red liquid.
Huh. I will retrieve them, as they are not the kind of thing that Chiffles probably need.
Their hearts can't handle it.
No, they probably just have something shiny. Go ahead, give me an Arcana check, please.
I would like to do so.
Quick
Anyone else has
question.
Arcana?
Oh, nice.
Apparently, this is gonna be my one good roll tonight, guys. I hope it was worth it.
Yeah.
Handled it.
Callie, what were you asking?
Well, I was gonna ask if my 2 javelins are with the Chiffl that ran away.
No, they landed like on the ground over here. They just arced
Cool.
and they grazed the back, so you can go easily and retrieve those back.
Very good, because I was just gonna like shake my fists at them and like yell into the woods if not, but I'm just gonna roll over there and grab them.
Angry Sasquatch yells at woods.
Shakes
I mean,
fist.
it's a rite of passage, clearly. Sick, as you pull these vials out, you discover that there's actually 4 bottles of these, and you recognize these to be alchemist fire. You see as you shake the bottle, there's kind of like reddish goldish flecks. The liquid isn't like a water liquid, it's more like a gack, if you remember what gack is like.
Yes, you do.
Probably a little more viscous, and you get really excited because when these are thrown, they're essentially like Molotov cocktails. So you can go ahead and put that you have 4 bottles of alchemist fire, and here is the handout for that, so you know like what you'll need to roll in as far as damage, etc. for that.
Shane, I love that it, rather than describing it in terms of like actual violent weaponry, you were like, it's like gack, you know?
Yeah. It's got like a every kid, I think all of our generation, everyone on this knows what gack was, hopefully.
Yep. 1d4 fire. And then I'd also like to go over to Ape and use my medicine skill to try and aid whatever is ailing him, because he clearly is not well.
Maybe it was the sun. Go
so
ahead.
Sick walks over and says, it appears that battle left you a little worse for wear, young man. May I assist you?
Yes, you may. I will need it going forward on this glorious quest against apparently more small things.
See here. I use my herbalism kit and attempt to devise some kind of antidote or something to lessen his discomfort.
Perfect.
Would prefer
Oh
not
my
to throw.
gosh!
Nice.
Okay, that wasn't my only 20 apparently.
Damn.
You said
So
that
you
last time.
actually
Do you feel better? Is it working?
You found a rare type of mushroom in that little hole within the tree that you're like, this is perfect for what's ailing. And within a few minutes, you're able to essentially use your alchemist kit to like grind the mushroom down and create like a little bit like a tea that Ape could sip. And over the next hour, Ape, you gain like 1 hit point every half hour
Okay.
until you're back at full.
Okay, so let's put it back to full then.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And
Much obliged. Thank you.
And with that, I'm going to fast forward our pace a little bit because we're about to take a break. But you all make it back to the resort, and Isabella works with you to essentially outfit your keelboat with any supplies that you guys want on your journey. Now, it's about 11:30 in the morning. If you look on the handout for Beerson's letter, he said that the phenomenon where the mist occurred at twilight when the sun was setting was near the Rosario Strait. So going back to our first map, a keelboat will essentially get you to around this area down here in the lower right side of the map in about 6-ish hours. So you guys have like an hour to plan and pack and get on your boat and essentially make your way around the San Juans this way or this way to get to the Rosario Strait.
It strikes us as odd and arcane that a mist would rise as the sun sets, right?
Yes.
We all agree that that is ass backwards.
It is very bizarre and super strange. Now I'm going to show some handouts with you guys before we take like a 5-minute break. These are the stats for the keelboat. If combat was to happen on a keelboat. And
that doesn't sound suspicious.
Yeah, I know, not at all.
Not at all. So you guys would have already had this established beforehand, but there's a captain, first mate, or bosun. Those are kind of the top 3 as far as dealing with actions in combat. You can either do take aim, which is there's only a ballista on the keelboat, which is basically a big crossbow with an arrow. You guys have 10 total arrows on this ship. The take aim feature, the captain, first mate, or bosun can use that action to tell them to cats in closets. I don't know what it is. To fire it, full speed ahead. One of those 3 can direct which direction the keelboat can turn, and then only the captain can rally the groups once an encounter to give the entire crew advantage on their next roll. So I simplified a lot of the 5e games because it's a one-shot. So you have access to those handouts, and I'll walk you through if and when stuff happens. So who would like, let's see, let's work out who's going to be the captain, first mate, bosun, navigator, and oars master. Oars master is like, I'm strong, I row. Navigator, you're really good at survival. You're able to navigate the group potentially to the Rosario Strait. The quartermaster is in charge of all the stuff. First mate is just, if the captain goes down, you become the captain, all that kind of stuff. So how would you guys like to handle that?
If I'm funny, I say I'm going to be the navigator, but I also want us to actually get somewhere, so I'm not the navigator.
Bosun seems like the right job for Little.
Okay.
Bo can do the navigator.
Okay.
I'll take oars master.
Okay.
I'm strong.
I was wondering if this Tulip just like ranking it.
I'm strong.
All right.
Ape will take first mate, I guess.
Okay.
As the elder of this, I will naturally become the captain. I was kind of aiming for first mate, but I'll take captain.
Got the big prize.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm the grown-up.
Onward and into the mist, he says. This is not remotely strange.
Not at all.
When the sun does the thing, the mist rises. I don't know what you want.
Mist rises all the time. Misty. Mist-like.
Mysterious.
Yes, that.
Shane's debating whether that is worth it or not. Shane, that was a good pun.
It was, but I'm
pretty
pretty
good.
sure
Tickle
Callie
my
still
fun
has
session.
inspiration.
Gotta use them points.
I don't think did you use it, Callie?
No, I haven't.
Nope.
I really should have for
Yeah,
that.
you really should have.
Competition.
But reminder, you have it. So,
Oh yeah, no, I know. I was waiting for a good moment.
oh, you're good. So it is 9:56 now. Are folks okay with taking like a 5-minute bio break?
Yep.
Refill your stuff, come back, and we're just gonna hop back into it.
All right.
That's fine.
Sounds good.
You're 10.
All right, I'm gonna
All
keep the recording's gonna go on my end, so I'm not gonna turn anything off. I'll see you guys in 5 minutes. We're back from our break. Yay! We're starting.
Yay!
Looking at the time, I'm gonna push us on along. Kind of skip over the navigating portion. And after traveling for most of the day, you were able to successfully navigate your way around the west side of Orcus Island, and then eastward. So essentially, if we're looking at this little graphic, your little keelboat makes its way this way. Boop-a-doop. And then eastward, weaving through various others until you see the sea open up before you just as the sun is setting. You start going over here, and then you're out over here. Let's see. The only islands around you lay on your left and right sides. Taking another glance at your map, you know you're about to sail into the Rosario Strait. A little time passes as your ship sails further into open water, and just as you can feel the anxiousness of whether or not your party navigated to the correct spot on the sea, you begin to see a slight mist rise above the water. It's strange, as the temperature has not dropped, nor have any clouds bustled their way towards you, but within a matter of a few minutes, you're surrounded entirely by its thickness. With the sun going down, it seems to set the mist aflame, as the air around you holds a flame-like tint. I need everybody to go ahead and make perception checks, please.
Damn.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. I'll take the first one.
Yeah, I turn it off.
All right. So
There's a reason I'm the navigator.
you're pretty like I would say Tool and Sick and Little, you guys are kind of all like head looking down onto the map, kind of looking up. Oh my gosh, there's mist everywhere. Ape, you look out into the mist, probably about to start some sort of narrative in your own way, and you see eyes staring at your ship through the mist about 70 or so feet away. And you tilt your head for a second, and those eyes look like they're probably, if you were standing, if the water was the ground, probably like 50 or so feet in the air.
There are eyes up ahead. They are high. They are very tall eyes. Eyes that have height. Eyes. Large, very tall eyes.
You could call them
No.
highs.
And as he's describing this, let's see, Bo, you kind of follow his line of sight as he's pointing to the set of eyes, and then you see not one set, but 3 sets of eyes staring back at you all. And then all of a sudden, the eyes seem to kind of move apart and float in the air, and you see the mist kind of part for a second, and ever so briefly, you see what looks like to be an island beyond the mist, before the mist engulfs the rest of the view. And then as the island is once more engulfed in mist, Ape and Bo, you guys see the eyes all of a sudden just drop beneath the water. And you see a little bit of the water kind of rise up, very Jaws-like, as it seems something is just barreling towards your boat.
Something approaches the boat, he says to his companions. It had eyes that were high, but now they are low and underwater, and thus are no longer high.
Bo just starts yelling, "It's an island! You see? Island!"
Man the ballista! Sick yells.
Interesting. Eyes that are land. Is the land eyes, or is the eyes land?
Ape scratches his head. Bo,
Think
take
on
that
this.
inspiration for that pun. I see you. And Sick calls out an order for somebody to man the ballista. Who would like to man the ballista and aim?
I'll do it. Little do it.
All right.
Wait, actually, sorry. Little jumped on that, but we have a ranger. Bo, do you want to do that
What am I doing? Sorry. I was still patting myself on the back.
for that dope-ass pun? Do you want to fire the ballista or shall I?
Ride that one.
I'm the navigator, so you totally have this.
All right.
I'm very busy being proud of myself in character and out of character.
As the all-purpose boatswain, I will step up and do it.
So, Bo, whenever you fire the ballista, you will roll a d20 plus 6. you're technically not proficient in ballistas, so you don't get to add your proficiency bonus. So you remember I was talking to you about the left side of the map? There's that toolbar and you can roll a d20.
Yeah.
You click on it, you could just add 6 that way, so then it'll roll it for you.
Yep.
All right. So Bo is manning the ballista.
Nope. Little is manning the ballista.
Sorry, Little is manning the ballista. Sorry, I got that mixed around. So same thing, +6 to your roll, and just know that once you loose an arrow, it'll take an action to load another arrow, and then you'll be able. So it's like every other round, you'll be able to shoot an arrow off.
What if we had 2 people on the ballista, one to load and one to fire and aim and fire?
That would work.
Okay.
If you had 2 dedicated people.
Then Six use another one to assist.
Perfect. All right, and I'm
Just gonna walk up, flexing like I got this.
Just hoisting the bolts.
Just like overhead pressing the ballista bolts just because you can.
I don't know why, but here we go. Yeah.
Oh wow, they went nothing.
Good.
Gonna load up the guns. Right over there.
Oh!
All right.
Nominate that one pun of the night.
All right.
Oh,
Go
good.
ahead.
Oof.
We didn't get tickets though.
God damn it.
All
It's
right.
one of those like
So-
flash mob type shows.
I don't know. I don't like the idea of a flash mob gun show.
Yeah.
All of your friends
no.
flexing at once? If
And-
all of my friends spontaneously all flexed at once, I would be super down.
That's actually just
I
professional
like that
wrestling.
sort of gun
That's what
show.
happens in every professional wrestling match.
All right. So I'm going to give you guys a moment to kind of put yourselves on the ship. You guys should see a different map now. We're not going to fidget with the mist and its essentially capability just because that's more flavor than anything. If for whatever reason you go below deck, I have on the upper left-hand side a lower deck. But for the most part, you guys are actually on the ship over here.
Oops.
And
Other boat.
everybody should be able to move the ship. So Claire, let's see, Claire. I would say Sick, Ape, and Little. If you guys are the ones taking actions to move the ship, you can have the capability to do that on the map. So go ahead and, yeah, most of you have already done so, but place your tokens where you think your character is.
To reload the window so that it starts listening to me again.
Gotcha. Oh, yeah, Sick, you're over. So that's the lower deck.
Wait, which boat are we on?
This boat.
Oh!
over there.
Boat on the right. Other boat.
I was really
sorry.
excited.
This is,
Anti-boat.
yeah, this is like if you go below deck for whatever
All right.
reason.
That
And I'll
makes
go ahead and
sense.
I'll move Sick over here.
Thank
So
you.
out of the water, you guys see this massive, multiple-headed creature just barreling towards your ship. So, and
Not
it goes,
there. That's a problem.
Ooh.
yeah, it goes 70,
Just like
60 feet, 30, and then it gets within 20 feet of your boat, and it kind of curves off to the side as it sees that massive ballista.
That's
I
not
need-
enough feet.
I'm sorry, say that one more time?
That's not enough feet away. I don't like how close it is.
No. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna roll initiative. So everyone, I will bring up the initiative tracker. Let me delete your previous ones.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can I be like up on the mast somewhere? Like navigating,
Sure.
yelling directions at people?
Yes, you can. The keel boat specifically has rigging to allow it, so no checks are needed. And
Okay.
you essentially had 2 rounds to kind of adjust where you're going to be, and within that, you can get up on top of the mast.
Awesome.
I'm going to roll initiative for the keel boat. Da, da, da. Okay. And then this lovely guy is going to roll initiative. So, coming up out of the water, as you guys take your various positions on the keelboat, you see there are a total of 5 heads
That's
barreling
not good.
towards you. And we get to Bo's turn. Bo, you are up.
How far away is it?
It is, each square is 5 feet. It is a total of 25 feet away from the boat, from the front of it.
Okay.
Probably 60-ish feet
Okay.
away from you, 70 as a crow fly, because you're up in the air. So I would say like 65.
Cool. Still well within my range.
Yes. Oh, yeah, for your bow and arrow? Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Just keep in mind, if you choose to, because I think you're one of the, no, you're the navigator. You're good. Go ahead. Loose away.
Yep. So I am up in the rigging.
Yep.
And I yell at everybody because I have a really good viewpoint about how many heads I see, which is 5. Too many.
5.
So I call down a warning. There's 5 of them to the right of, that direction. I'm not really good on boats. I don't know why people put me in charge of navigating. But I kind of point and make sure everybody knows which way to go. And then I pull out my bow, and I'm going to use my Slayer's Prey again on it to mark one of the heads.
Okay.
And then I'm going to shoot it with my longbow.
All right. That'll hit.
Nice.
Go ahead, roll that extra damage. The Hydra obviously isn't wearing natural or any leather armor. It's only just got thick scales, and yet you were able to loose an arrow strong enough to pierce said scales, and you do a total of 9 damage.
Yay!
Nice.
But I don't have any time to waste gloating about it. I notch another arrow,
Okay.
and then I'm going to shoot it again with my pew pew bow.
Perfect. And that hits as well.
Nice.
That's so dope.
Yeah, good start.
Excellent.
All right. Murder, murder,
Always-
murder.
There's a lot of HPs to get through.
Yep.
So many HPs.
So many HPs.
That brings us to Tool.
All right, so I'm the loader, correct? But we haven't shot yet. So
Yeah.
I think I'm going to hold my turn so that I can go after Little.
Okay.
But I guess I'll lift the ballista, or not the ballista, but whatever the ammo is, those giant arrows, and be ready to smash it in as soon as he's
I
shot.
have to be like, wait, no, wait.
You're already trying to put it in.
Then hurry up and shoot! There are 5 heads!
Don't rush the shooting.
Must aim first.
Yeah.
Must
First
aim
aim.
first, Miss Tool.
There's 4 of them for me and 1 for the rest of you.
And as you're having this conversation, the Hydra makes its way the
Look
rest
what
of the
you've
way
done.
up to the boat and gets up to Little.
Oh my lord.
Oh no!
No, wait, no, I'm Little. No.
And you can see one of the heads comes up and just whoosh, comes down and tries to take a bite out of you.
As I am yelling at
Oh.
Tool, wait, no, first I shoot, then you load. First shoot, then
And then you see this
Just
massive head,
slams
yep,
onto the
just crunch, and you take a total of 6 piercing damage.
Aw. Oof.
As that head pulls back, it's gonna go ahead. Let's see, does it have a reach? I don't think it has reach. Oh, it has 10-foot reach.
Better.
You're still out of reach, Tool. So it's gonna go ahead and I'll say 2 other hits against Little.
Lordy. All right.
Oh
So
boy.
On that third one, I have a few things. On the third hit, that will do 14 damage, I would like to use my Sasquatch Endurance.
Okay.
So I roll a d10 plus my con mod, which is 1. So just a sec. Let's ignore that. Damn, I shouldn't have said ignore that because that was pretty good. But the actual roll is 6. So I absorb 6 of that. So I take 8 and then another 8. So 16 more.
All right. And just remember, as a, I think you should have it at this level. As a rogue, you can use your reaction to, well, actually you just use your reaction to do Stone's Endurance. So I retract my statement.
Yeah, that was the problem is I guess I could have the damage, but I was gambling that the 10 plus 1 would be better than half 14. So
my brain caught up with you on this one.
no, but thank you for reminding me. Always feel free to remind me of my powers.
Cool. And then
I'm
so
also
that's
half
3.
good, though.
What I imagine is like as you're like no, all of a sudden these 3 heads come down, and at one point, you know, like when you're so annoyed, you're just like, you take a moment to be like to like flex a little bit, and you gain a little, like you're able to like resist some of it. Yep. And then the other 2 heads try and attack the keelboat itself. So the keelboat can take damage. Let's see. So that is going to be 2 attacks against the keelboat, 2 bites. 15 piercing. What is your AC, keelboat? Your AC is 12. Hull is 15. So the first one hits, the second one misses. It doesn't miss the boat entirely, but its teeth is just like, ha. And like it gets stuck a little bit, and it like pulls back and kind of goes, like a little bit of splinters are in its teeth. But the first one does 15 total damage on the boat and takes a massive, just chunking scrape off the keelboat. And the hull has 100 hit points, so now that's down to 85. If it gets to 10 or below, it starts sinking, or it starts taking on water. Just know that. All right, so that is Hydra's turn. That brings us to Sick.
Quick question.
Yes.
Am I limited to how many key points I can use per turn?
No.
Dope.
I think there are certain like rules as far as like certain moves take your reaction, so you can't keep using key points to keep using your reaction, if that makes sense. But other than that,
I hear you. Yeah. Okay, great. So Sick is gonna like, and I'm just gonna like flavor this with, you know, Step of the Wind, like runs up the stairs to the top of the boat, and then just like dives from above to punch the hydras in the face. And I'm gonna use a key point. It's gonna be 1, 2, 3, and then that 4th strike is gonna be a stunning blow.
Dope.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
So you're doing flurry of blows, and then on your 4th strike, you're doing stun.
Yes, that is exactly it.
Awesome. And your DC, we said, is 14 for its stun.
Yes.
So that is a Constitution saving throw for that one.
Oh, those are juicy rolls, too.
Jesus! Those all hit!
Holy crap!
Just
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just
Nice.
come running off, like you're just like, screw steering. You just come running, and it's just like, poof, 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 poof. And then you uppercut the last head, and it just reaches back, and it looks like a reverse, or it looks like a rainbow of a head, and then it just kind of stays there for a second as that head is completely stunned. So you've taken down the Hydra's attacks from 5 to 4 on its next turn.
Raise your hand if you've ever punched the head off a Hydra before.
Shit, okay.
Off is a bit much, but
I mean, back, you know.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Emotionally off.
Minus.
Raise your hand if you've ever punched the emotions out of a Hydra.
wait, I'm just gonna raise a fist because I feel like that's a little bit more.
Yeah.
On brand.
Double check something, because something happens when it takes more than 25 damage.
Something happens when you punch it in the mouth 5 times.
It's only 4 times, Joe.
Well, you keep neglecting the emotional.
So
Emotional damage, right?
It's
That's
really
the fifth
sad
part.
about it right now.
here's what happens, Sick, So you do like some of your punches take on some of the heads. You get to that last head that you stun. You not only stun it, but you punch entirely through its head, and it's stunned. But then the head just flops off and falls into the water. So it's down to 4 heads.
I stand by my statement. Punch the head off a Hydra.
Punch the head off a Hydra.
Yep.
Can that be the new Swordsquatch like tagline? Punch a head off a Hydra.
Have you
I'm
really?
gonna write it. I'm gonna like cut like the one of the open banner. I'm gonna like wash off whatever's on there now and just
It's a paper plate award.
I was just gonna say
Oh,
that.
that would be
Hydra.
a great paper plate award.
Hydra head
paper
puncher.
I need to go find out if I have a paper plate after this.
Yeah,
I will. If I'm making an award for this.
I was thinking the
Please
same
do.
thing, dude.
Hydra head puncher.
Hydra head.
That
Yeah.
was
Hey, I still have
Tulip
mine.
awesome.
Also, character development via Seagull also should be a paper plate award.
Yes.
Heck, yes.
All right, so it is the keelboat's turn. The keelboat does, obviously it's not stationary in the water, so it does keep moving, and it moves, I want to say, where is it? It moves like, 20 feet. Actually half that, because no one is currently rowing, so it just goes, bloop, bloop. And the Hydra's still like right there, and then I'll move you guys. Keep everyone where they need to be.
Lost the back half of the boat.
Oh, oops. Yep. Yeah, because it like goes under. There we go. Meh. All right, that is that. Keep in mind that, let's see, where are your rolls? Okay. So Little, you're using your action to shoot. Ape, if you want to turn the boat at all, you can use your action to do so. That would be your action for your next turn, which is you are like concurrent with the keel boat, so that's up to you. So you can either choose to turn the boat, or you can choose to just wail on the Hydra. It is up to you, and we'll go to your turn.
Want to do something cool, but I feel like turning the boat is more responsible, and he wants to turn it away from the Hydra. Spinning the wheel. Turn the boat, turn the boat, turn the boat, turn the boat. Get away from the giant high eyes.
All right, where's my keel boat stat handout? There it is, combat. Full speed ahead. Let's see. Go ahead, roll me a d6, please. You can either type that /R d6, I think it'll do it, or use that handy dandy tool over there on the left side of the screen.
Okay.
It's a 3.
All right, so it adds a multiply. So doing so, you added 15 feet of movement, and the ship is going to move 15 feet. You wanted to turn the back end like over here?
I wanted to. That's what I gotta do, isn't it? I can't turn the front end, can I?
Correct. Well, we can. Do. And it kind of slowly.
Technically, the front end would turn first, right?
Cool.
Right? Physics. Where's the thingy?
We're just kind of like Tokyo drifting here.
Yeah. It's easy to do in water. All turns are technically drifts in water.
And also, Ape is amazing. And here we go. Turn the boat. Turn the boat. Oh.
Woke up in a boat that was Tokyo drifting everywhere.
Whoosh.
Sounds like the beginning of like a really, really cool hip hop song.
The keel of the boat suddenly breaks out in neon.
All right. Cool. You have a bonus action if you have anything. I can't remember if.
I don't think. Can I fire a cantrip with that?
I don't think so. I think those are.
Yeah, no, I think that's an action. So no, that's no bonus action.
All right, Little, your turn.
You know when you're playing Mario Kart and you get that drift around the bend and you've drifted better than somebody, so you've got the perfect shot for the green turtle shell?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what just happened. That's what Ape just set up. I'm going to talk a big game, and I'm totally going to miss this, but I'm going to shoot the ballista.
It's a blue turtle shell in our hearts.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
No, ignore that. That was not accurate. Ignore that. I didn't roll correctly. Please,
Okay.
please, DM, be
Blue
more
turtle shell.
Yeah, I think I believe you because you're trying to put the +6 into it.
I'm trying. I was attempting to click the advanced roller, and I clicked. This is my actual roll.
Got it.
Is in fact.
But you didn't roll it.
Notably-
Oh, you rolled a D10, not a D20.
Oh my
Try
god!
again.
Oh my god! Here we
Keep
go.
going.
Guaranteed it. Oh.
Oh.
Oh, buddy.
Comedy of errors.
Can I gift an inspiration
At least
point?
you're consistently
No.
improving.
I know everyone but me has made a
But
point. All
so
of my
as-
points have
as
been
the ship-
seen.
as the ship is turning, you weren't expecting the Tokyo drift to happen, and you loose the arrow too soon, and it just goes right between like some of the heads that are just currently trying to like redirect where their prey is. But you know what does happen right away is Tool is ready and and pulls back, and you do have another arrow ready for next turn.
All right.
All right. Do you have a
Sorry,
bonus
y'all.
action or anything you want to do?
No, I'm done.
All
I mean,
right.
hide. Actually, yes. I would like to hide beneath the ballista. As I stand back.
I'll
Yeah,
allow it.
rogue.
Roll stealth.
Ah.
Oh, Jesus.
Here we go.
God damn, y'all.
Perception. Let's see. Oh, it's got
I'm
a
halfway
+6.
dead.
You fucker. The heads are like,
Where'd he go?
Jesus.
they kind of like look at each other and they're just like,
Imagine like King Ghidorah style, where they kind of like console each other, and then there's always a dumb head, and they all just like.
like the
Just
last,
picturing like the litter of puppies when they all like head tilt and sink.
yeah.
I'm Tim hiding in Jurassic Park, like hiding in the behind the butcher's block with the Velociraptor, like.
So,
Sorry.
because you are successfully hidden, you will get advantage on the next ballista pull.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
All right, Bo, it's your turn.
Hooray!
Quick question.
So at this point,
Oh.
go ahead.
So is my whole turn reloading the bow?
You basically holding your action, yeah.
Okay, I was just
That's how-
making sure on that.
Yeah. If you
It
hold
was a
actions, you're
very
using
valuable
your
action, Callie.
yeah, you're using your reaction and your action to hold your turn in the order. So
Okay.
yeah. All right. Bo.
So at this point, Bo is like, well, shit. This is going to be like a whole thing. And so I'm going to use one of my spell slots
Okay.
and do Hail of Thorns,
Dope.
which,
Hell yeah.
yeah. So I'm going to cast it as a 2nd level spell.
Okay.
And just go for broke here.
Okay.
So I'll target the same head. Is the head that I attacked earlier one of the 4 that's still alive?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the one I'm going to target with my spell right now.
Okay.
And anything within 5 feet of it has to also make a dex saving throw.
So all of the other heads. Check.
Exactly.
Perfect. Wow. Okay.
Well played. That's awesome.
So that's a thing that's gonna happen. And then... so I've got that active, and then I'm gonna use my longbow to shoot that head again. And I'm gonna use my inspiration advantage as well.
So with inspiration, what you can do is you can roll once and you can
Okay.
decide whether or not to use it. You don't have to use it right away. It's up to you.
Okay.
You can hold on to it. So if it's a good
Okay.
roll, I'm not gonna let you, or I'm not gonna make it so you wasted your inspiration.
Okay. Cool. Good. Awesome. Yay, DMs. So I will go ahead and... I'm sorry?
Although, real quick, Hail of Thorns, I think that's an action, so I don't think you can also
It's a
shoot.
bonus action.
Oh, it's a bonus action? Hell yeah.
I believe it said so.
Yeah. Well, then.
Casting time, 1
do it.
bonus action.
Then that's perfect. Let's do
Oh.
it. All right, I'm gonna do 4 or 3. Does the targeted head also do a dex save?
Let me double check. The target of the attack and each creature within 5 feet of it must make a dex saving throw.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. I was like, what the heck? All right. So 2 of the heads do take the Hail of Thorns damage.
And that's 2d10 because it's a 2nd level.
Okay, and that's what the 3 and the 4 are.
Okay.
So a total of 7 damage, and then go ahead, give me your 2 attacks that you get with your.
And the other ones that succeeded take half damage.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
I'm gonna fuck
raining.
shit up.
Ranger.
And now I make 2 attacks.
All right. The second attack misses, but the first attack hits.
Can I use my inspiration on the second attack?
Yes, you can.
Cool.
And that, the 19 would hit. So
Okay.
it'll be 9. So, okay. Give me a second. I'm going to catch the HP up on its.
Now,
Shit
it's,
up.
That was amazing.
Yeah, that was legit, guys.
like,
Okay.
this is in 30, 40 damage? Yeah.
Yeah.
The effect
Multiplied.
last time where more than 25 damage caused an interesting and exciting effect. Does that happen
Yes.
again?
Yeah,
Love
it does.
murdering
It's like every 25. So you just shred and you obliterate one of the other heads. It's down to 3 heads.
Also, one more thing. Hold on, let me double check. So the head that I was attacking was already injured from me attacking it the first time, so I also get to deal an extra 1d8
Yes.
to that one.
And the entire creature itself. So go ahead, roll 2d8s
Okay.
because you hit twice. All right. So.
Woo-wee!
Yeah.
Remember when you guys were making fun of me for obliterating a rabbit or a squirrel or a hippopotamus or whatever that thing was? Now you're all just eviscerating a hydra.
Hey, what the heck?
This is a little more impressive, sorry.
We are fucking bodying this fight.
Okay, so.
How much?
Hold please.
Doodaloo, 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 doo.
This is what happens when you have character development via Seagull.
You get overpowered.
1 minute, I'm just like wrestling seagulls, and the next, just like murdering the fuck out of shit.
Murder, murder,
The
murder.
duality of Sasquatch.
The seagull gave you trouble, but the hydra, no. Get fucked.
Maybe your favored enemy should be seagulls now because they're like your. Okay. Wow. So you actually take 2 heads out. You were down to 2 heads
Nice.
on the Hydra. Tool, your turn. It's like just pepper spray of all these arrows, and there's these vines growing out of the arrows and wrapping itself around the heads, and it almost like strangles one of the Hydra heads, and it just lands in the surf below. And all of a sudden, there's just like the stubs of 3 of the Hydra heads, but the 2 are just kind of circling around, kind of like, what the heck? Very confused, but they're looking towards you.
Well, I currently don't have a job to do because this ballista is loaded. So guess what? It's time for me to unload. All right. And actually, little air horn noises, please. Burr, burr, burr. It's rage time. So I'm going to use, I think it's a bonus action to start, or to rage.
Yeah, you're raging.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you are.
Fuck yeah.
And let's see, I'm also going to take the frenzy, which I can do 3 attacks in a round.
I think
but
that's
at the
another
end,
bonus
I'm gonna
action.
Oh, that's the other bonus action. That's right. So
Yeah,
never
so
mind.
you bonus action to rage. Next turn, you can go into a frenzy if you want.
If there's anything left.
We'll see.
So, all right. And
But you
I
do
don't.
have
Do I?
attacks.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll just hit that, and great axe. Hell yeah.
14 unfortunately does not hit.
I'm
You
gonna
get
use
up to
my
it,
inspiration.
and you hack into it, and you make it, but then your axe kind of glances off at it. You glare, and you go in for another swing.
I'm gonna use my inspiration to reroll
Inspiration. Go right ahead.
that. Yeah!
In an alternate world, you you briefly like glance off, but in this one, you hit the side of the Hydra, and then you press a little bit with your rage, and you can see the blade of the axe just digging deeper and deeper, and you do a total of 12 damage, and you have another attack.
All right. That seemed to work. Let's do it again. Yeah!
You pull it out, and then you just like a lumberjack, you just go into that same spot. And you take out that head. You got halfway, you reach back, and you just completely slice through its head, and now there's only one head remaining.
Dun dun dun.
Is that your laugh? Or was
That's
that Claire?
I'm just so happy.
Okay. It's the Hydra's turn.
I love it so much.
One head remaining. It's kind of looking around, and it's just like, oh shit, like it's the only head. But then it looks down at, let's see, who is its closest? Doesn't see Little, but it sees Sick. So it's going to go ahead and try and bite Sick for 21.
Oof.
You take 6 points of piercing damage. One second, I'm going to take care of a cat. It's okay. And then that's the end of the Hydra's turn until you guys see all of a sudden, just like Hercules, the Disney movie, where every head was chopped off, you see 2 heads sprout out.
Oh, we forgot the number 1 rule. Oh, we're so dumb.
Oh, good. More heads to fight.
So 2, 4, 6,
All right, no, for
8.
real though, who can do fire or acid damage? Anybody?
I got some bottles of alchemist fire.
All right, yeah.
So there are now 9 total heads.
We
What is the
walked
order?
right into that. Actually, that was stupid.
We were so excited.
I know.
We were so-
The dice blinded us to what we needed to be doing.
All right.
Listen, y'all,
Um,
this is all part of my plan. So I can punch some more shit.
Hey, Sick, are you up next?
Yes, I
Sick
am.
is next.
Sick, do we want to see if there's a chance you could attempt to attach your alchemist fire to this ballista shot that's going off in a turn?
That's a great idea.
or do you
I
want to
think
just
that-
lock
Well, it
'Cause
depends.
the only reason
Can
I
I
bring it up
use-
is if we can attach...
Go ahead.
Sorry.
I'm curious. No.
I've got
wanna hear your
advantage on the shot.
Yeah.
But if you have inspiration, I just want to make sure we maximize our percentages
for
to
it.
get fire.
I'm here for it.
Sick, you are right there. I would say if you wanted to use your action to like delve in, you probably have some rope or even pull like part of your sash off and tie the alchemist fire to the actual arrow on the ballista. Go ahead, give me let's just do a general dex check to see how like in 6 seconds you rip it and like tie it and secure it. It's because who knows, maybe you'll catch the, oh, that's enough. That's 15 was the DC. So you rip off a part of your sash, you tie it around. How
I
many?
use multiple of them.
Yeah, you totally can.
I'm gonna
Allow
put
it.
2 on there, just in
All
case
right,
it misses. I'll keep 2 in reserve.
All right, 2.
Okay.
2 tied tightly, and they're kind of like, swaddled in there like a babe, like, with a sash onto the
Yeah.
arrow.
I've swaddled many a Sasquatch pup in my days.
Perfect. And that's why you were so quick with the knot. That is your action. Is your bonus action you wish to do?
What kind of cool bonus things can Monk do? No, I can't use a key point to take an additional attack.
No, because you would have to like pew pew, and then you could do
Right. Yeah. I think that's it.
All right. So Ape, you go at the same time as the keelboat. You can let the keelboat just kind of drift, or you can come join in the fray if you wish. It is up to you.
Ape is going to vault towards the front of the boat, and he is going to loose a firebolt.
Perfect.
Actually, hold on a second. No, hold on to that. Yeah, he's going to loose firebolt.
All right.
Go, Ape, go!
Just let me get my sheet. I got on the wrong page. Hold on.
It's all good?
I seem to be... dang it.
It should be an option on the middle, on the front
Yeah,
page.
there we go. Hold on, I got off the main page accidentally.
No worries.
And that is...
That'll hit. 7 points of fire damage. As you essentially, like, as the heads sprout up, the main head that's been taking a lot of damage, you just, like, where the wounds almost seem to kind of heal, you cauterize and do additional damage with the firebolt, and it sears right through it.
Motherfucker.
Alright, so that's -7.
He's totally doing finger guns.
Pew, pew, pew. Shoosh, shoosh, shoosh. Alright. That brings us to Little, your turn. You have advantage. You are hidden. You could hear Sick as you guys kind of whispered to each other your plan. Secure the alchemist fire. You have advantage on this ballista shot.
Yep, waiting until Ape's distracting him with the fire fingers, and then just creeps up ever so subtly, just eyes sneaking over the ballista, fires. And so the 16 is the higher.
All right, 16 hits.
Oh, thank God.
So
Yes!
15 is his natural AC.
Oof.
So let me bring up.
I was gonna shit my pants if that missed. I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
All right,
We
so
did have 2
Claire-
more fires, so
I know, but when Claire was like, I'm gonna tie 2, I was like, oh my God, don't put this pressure on me, Claire.
Yep. All right, so Claire, go ahead, roll me on your side of things 2d4, please. That'll be the fire damage. And then for the ballista, I want to say, where is it? Where's the stats? There's the stats. For the ballista, it's going to do 3d10.
Yee.
No.
shit.
I had picked up 1d12 thinking that was gonna be nice. 3d10. Goddamn! All right.
Yep.
Boy!
Yeah.
What? 27 damage on a 3d10.
Yes.
Wee.
Haters will say it's fake. They're gonna say it's
And-
fake.
The arrow just zooms right out, just cleans and cauterizes one of the, or I will say, actually, 2 of the heads that had sprouted out.
Just
So it
bleeding
is,
gack the whole way. Just like.
and yeah, so
it.
you can see the effect of the fire just cauterize those 2 heads, so no more heads grow. And then it seems the alchemist fire seems to spread, and you can smell the burnt flesh of this hydra as fire is now kind of spreading throughout its body. Jesus, yeah, those dice do not lie. All right, minus.
We shall have an exotic dinner tonight, comrades.
Okay, so 2. All right, that brings us to Bo.
It's me again?
It is you again. What do you want to do?
Oh no.
Shit.
Do what?
Wreck shit.
Oh, I'm gonna wreck shit. I don't have any fire though, but I'm gonna try to murder some stuff, and
Okay.
maybe y'all can cauterize it. So I'm gonna.
So actually, apologies. That ballista took 3 heads off, not 2. Took 3.
Okay. So how many are left now?
You have 6 left.
Okay. Cool. I'm gonna do the thing again with my spell and try to take them out, and hopefully we can keep them from regrowing.
Okay. So bonus action, Hail Thorns, but only first level because I think you only had 1 level 2 slot. If I remember correctly.
Look at boss. Look at DM.
I'm pretty sure I have 2.
You have 2? It's because I built the character sheets.
I do have
I'm
2.
impressed nonetheless, Shane.
Cool. Well then
Wait. Petition for Claire to get an additional inspiration if she hasn't spent hers already, because Jerk Hydra.
it's on the menu tonight, boys. I stand corrected for Bo. You do have 2 level 2, so do you want to do Hail of Thorns at level 2?
Sure, let's do that again. I
All right.
enjoy murdering things.
Bonus action Hail of Thorns. There it is.
Done.
I said 6 heads, so they all need to make, and they're on fire at this point. BT does.
If they're all on fire, then that's nice.
Yes, it's because the
Let's murder
active fire.
Okay.
Gack.
Gacked. Get gacked, bro.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Finally, I get some nat 20s in there. Jesus.
3 of them?
Well,
Shit.
Yeah. All right. So 3 of them, but they only take 5 damage. Okay. Got to do the math again. Yeah. Do you want to roll your 2 bow attacks?
I would like to roll my 2 bow attacks.
And don't forget, you have the prey, the wounded prey feature, so you get to do the
extra 1d8?
1d8. Yeah. So it'll be a total of 2d8 if you hit.
Yeah. All right. Where's my bow? Give me my bow. 1, 2.
Both of those hit. So it's a total of 14.
D8. And another 11.
So this is what happens with the Hail of Thorns. The Hail of Thorns whip out, grow again. With the fire, it seems to just bolster the thorns even more and grows in size. Takes out all of the brand new heads, leaves 1 head standing, and the Hydra is just like yelling at you all and just in pain. All of these heads strewn about the water. Tool, it is your turn.
Well, I see 1 head left.
You do.
1 man standing. Let's go. If I can't do this in 3 hits, I don't know, man.
So bonus action, Frenzy Rage.
Yep.
Go, Tool, go.
We believe in you.
Do it.
Oof.
Miss. It kind of backs hits. And hits. So, Tool, with this Hydra before you in the water, multiple heads spread across the sea at this point. It's on fire. There's remnants of the Hail of Thorns that happened. Your comrades on the ship before you are rallying next to you left and right. And you walk up to this on fire Hydra. How do you want to finish this last remaining head?
Like a tree. Just, and I am Paul Bunyan. And I just cock back and swing through. Doesn't get it. Try again and swing through. And it comes toppling down.
Whack.
And exactly as you described, the essential tree of this Hydra, or the tree head of this Hydra, falls. And with the horrendous last screech of this dying Hydra, it's drowned away by its body being pulled beneath the surf to its final rest. You watch instantly as the mist that surrounds you and the ship begins to dissipate. In its absence, what remains before you is an island that looks exactly how Bierson Blacklim described, like an octopus. From your current position, you can see that there is a central landmass that rises up fairly steeply from the various legs of beaches surrounding it. Also, the more you look inward at the island, the thicker the forests seem to get. However, from this view, you can see there's some sort of clearing at the crest of the island. Just for the sake of time, I did have a group skill check to essentially navigate to the island, which is riddled on its exterior, as you can see on this massive map, with like lots of different ships that are abandoned, destroyed, and your party would make its way to the crest of this octopus island. We are going to go ahead and say that your group successfully works together, kind of riding the high of taking out this massive Hydra. And you guys reach the crest of this octopus, or maybe even Hydra Island. And the final
like that.
Yeah. The final leg of the check were these massive cliffs that kind of essentially protect the crest of this hill. And as you help each other up the final length of the cliff, all of you turn towards an open field before you on the crest of this small mountain. However, this field is not empty. Spaced out at varying intervals are a variety of humanoid-like statues. Some statues are cowering, some statues are seemingly yelling a war cry, while there are also some statues that are broken in various places or just completely shattered. At the opposite end of the field, the long grass transitions to rubble that leads to a ruin-like building. Close to the building, there are more statues. The ruins themselves seem to be overrun with thick blackberry bushes.
Because everything will be overtaken by blackberries someday.
Yep.
How lifelike are these statues?
You walk right up to them, and they look exactly like Sasquatches.
I believe we have discovered the fate of our long-lost hero.
How much light is there currently?
The sun is setting, and it's weird. The amount of time that it's taken your group to traverse this entire island and up onto this crest of this hill, it doesn't seem like any time has passed. It almost feels like time is frozen.
And it's like this, he says to himself, wondering, thinking out loud.
We should learn what we might be facing before we join this incredible display.
Yeah.
Who else has good stealth?
I do. I can creep. I just.
Okay.
Do we see anything that's like orb-like, palantir-like, anything that obviously would be the source of this?
Yeah, go ahead. How about everybody go ahead and make me perception checks, please?
Oop, nope, I ain't seen shit.
Nope.
Oh man, is that our first nat 1 tonight?
That is the first nat 1.
Wow.
But sick back
Okay.
me up. 20.
All right, you are in
Okay.
good company.
Okay.
Tool and I are just like stuck behind the bicep of one, like
You're like poking
Right.
statues.
Look at the definition on there. That's ridiculous.
They're just like posing with it. Meanwhile, Sick and Ape are kind of walking around and kind of looking through the statues. I would say, let's see. Bo, you do recognize some of the statues to actually be members of previous Swordsquatch forces. You see on some of them, you can see previous like emblems or sashes that like, oh crap, like they went missing. Like this is probably where they ended up. Other statues you just recognize to be like adventurers or pirates. Ape and Sycamoris, as you guys are kind of looking about the field, you notice across the field near the ruins and kind of on the ground, you start seeing what looks like to be the shiny tint of what looks like to be some sort of metal or coin. And as you're looking across the land, the field, you start to notice a pattern of large circular outlines that lead from the cliff almost like in a pattern shape towards the ruins. And they seem to be evenly spaced apart.
Where are they in relation to these people? Statues.
Let's see, I'm gonna use this. So like in essence, you see like one here, one here, one here, one here. And they seem to be walking towards the ruins.
Are they like depressed into the ground,
Mm-hmm.
or are they raised?
They're depressed. You get up close to it and you can see like the grass is like flattened, like a mini crop circle. And as you get up closer to it, you can see actually there are like defined points that look like claw marks at like the ridge, toward like painting or facing towards the ruins.
Shane,
Right.
I reach into my pouch and I grab a handful of ball bearings, of which I have 100, and I cast them freely in the direction of the planes and the statues to see if anything happens.
You guys watch as Little just takes out some ball bearings and tosses it towards the statues, and they just go, and they like hit various stone statues. Some of them just disappear into the grass. You kind of wait. Nothing happens.
Cool.
Sick.
Most troubling.
I'm not the thinking type, but you're the thinking type. You know things. You know a lot of things. Do you know what could cause this? And who would make such handsome statues of Sasquatches?
Do I?
You've heard of certain creatures being able to do a process that is called petrification. They're very strong creatures. It's a very rare power, and it takes an extremely strong, typically divine caster to undo petrification, if done right. But knowing that you just faced a Hydra and then seeing this before you, and with that history check, because I believe history goes along with intelligence, you recognize these to be footprints that were possibly belonging to the Hydra themselves. But it's weird because like your knowledge of Hydra knowledge and petrification, like those aren't powers that are typically paired in nature.
Right. Miss Toole, I believe that these were the steps of the beast that we so capably destroyed out on the ship, but it's not but these are not the footsteps of whatever has done this. Something far stronger has caused the death or petrification. Perhaps they still can be saved, but has caused all these statues of what were once our family and brethren. So I could not imagine that it's left, given all the ruins amongst all the arms of this island, seems to intend to protect itself well, and perhaps we are invaders here.
And yet we must quest for the shard.
Yep.
Yes.
Still gotta get shard. I mean, great speech, but shard awaits.
He's a great symbol of our people.
I will go forward.
Go.
I want to try and stealth around this back corner and see if I can follow the edge of the cliff.
Wait.
To the far side.
You guys, I mean, if the Hydra came this far and we saw its footprints, we can relatively assume that since Hydras aren't immune to any sort of stone shape, that if we follow in the Hydra's footsteps, we should at least be safe from anything that is trap-based that would have affected that, right?
That seems a fair assumption. Small one.
Can we make it from footstep to footstep?
Thanks, boss.
Without having to
We
go
could
off
go,
path?
like, in the path of footstep to footstep, right? Like, we started one and we walk towards the other one in the most direct line, and we have
You could essentially leapfrog it, yeah, totally.
Yeah, we followed the path that the Hydra walked.
Perfect. Does that sound like a plan for everyone?
Okay.
Yes.
All
As
right.
stated, I'm not the thinking type. I'm the smashing
Shane.
type.
Bow ready, though. Just for the record.
Okay.
Abe will take lead.
I am going to try and be stealthy about this, though. I'm going to try and be as sneaky as I can.
All right. Go ahead, roll stealth for me, please.
I as well.
And anyone else who wants to.
Combat rolling from footprint to footprint. Needless.
No, I'm not. I'm just stomping through.
So everybody, I'll say like tools at the back, like not even the birds that are probably like up in the trees notice you kind of all like leapfrogging from footprint to footprint. But then as Tool just kind of struts her way through, it actually disturbs the local birds, and they all go flying off. And you just kind of look at them and keep walking.
That was probably me.
So you guys reach the ruins. There are a variety of still like more bodies that are petrified, but what catches your eye even more is when you get up close, you do see that there are just mass amounts of coins, various other chests and treasures, just kind of strewn about on the ground. And similar to when you see like a dog come to a pile of blankets and they kind of go in and make themselves comfortable, you can see that there's very much like an outline of some sort of like creature that settled within all of these coins on the ground.
It was nested.
Perhaps we have found the Hydra's resting place.
What if there's baby hydras?
We imprint on them.
That is a disturbing thought.
I want one.
Dibs. We see no shard though.
If you want to look around in this area, you can go ahead and make an investigation check.
Hey, eyes on the prize. Little is looking around. Investigation.
Objection-based gaming.
Yeah, I'll roll investigation as well.
All right.
Suck at
boy.
investigating.
Dodges that roll though.
Wait. Maybe? No.
Oh!
Oh.
I love the build up for the 2. Maybe. Wait. Hear me out.
Maybe.
2.
It's useful.
It's funny because you have a -1, so you rolled a 3.
Yeah.
So I love when dice kind of roll in a narrative way. So, Sick, as you're looking around this area, I'm going to move your token over here. You get to this petrified statue right here, and you recognize your friend and former comrade, Beerson, Blackburn.
Oh, shit.
And he is currently in a form that is very much like very stoic kind of looking and very shocked at the same time. And then as you were kind of like coming up to him, Little, something catches your eye. I'm going to move you get up to this stone right here. And you notice that underneath some of the blackberry.
There's like a Mount Rainier of seaweed on here. It's weird.
It's right. the blackberry vines. You see that there's like this ethereal like glow that seems to be emanating from underneath the vines, and as you get closer, it starts to glow brighter and brighter.
In like a vaguely turquoise shade.
In a vaguely turquoisey color, yeah.
All right, I shout heads up as I stick my arm in and reach for it.
All right, you stick your arm in and reach for it, and the second that you touch it, all of a sudden you kind of tilt back, and it just feels like if you were to download yourself into the Matrix in one of the training programs, you just see a flash of images and a story kind of take place. You see DB Cunningleaf himself, who managed to escape from the Oregonia area and make his way towards the San Juans with the shard in hand. And then he comes across this island that wasn't there before one night, but then just naturally appears, and it seemed to provide him some refuge. But unbeknownst to him, the current resident of this island and protector of this island was a selfish Hydra, who eventually overcomes DB Cunningleaf and steals the shard. And the Hydra now is the possessor of the shard. And you see a matter of like what seems to be like years and decades that take place where this Hydra, with the power of the shard, comes across new powers that it didn't have before, specifically petrification powers. And it loves that this shard emboldens him and makes him stronger. And then he uses the power of his island that he already naturally was protective of, and the powers of the shard, to continually, over the years, pull in passerbys who might come across this island. But then as the years went by, he forgot about the shard. And the shard, in order to protect itself, hid itself specifically within the stone. And that's where you come to today, is you look down and this shard isn't resting on top of the stone. You pull your hand back and it takes a second for you to kind of get your bearing back. And you didn't move them before, but the blackberry bushes are kind of swiped away, and you're just staring down at this embedded shard within this rock. And it seems happy to see you. It senses not just you, but friends nearby.
Happy rock.
I attempt to take the precious, which wanted to be found for all of us.
You kind of try to get your hands around it, and it doesn't seem to pull out from the rock.
Ape, and tool. We got a lifting to be done.
Lifting? All right.
Maybe kicking, actually. You might want to try kicking.
Maybe we all got a lift.
Everyone, join hands.
Yeah, teamwork. Circle of hands around the crystal.
Makes the dream work.
It makes the dream work. It does indeed.
And as each one of you kind of
get over here.
I'll move it.
Oh, oops, sorry.
Nope, you're good. As each of you come closer to where this found Twilight shard has embedded itself like a sword in stone within rock, as each one of you place a hand on the shard, one by one, the color of the shard seems to grow ever brighter. And with the last hand place, all of a sudden, a flash of light occurs. And you all kind of step back for a second, blink a few, and look down at the rock, and the shard is missing. But then your arm, your side feels a little heavier, and you look down, and there's a single piece of the shard embedded in your deltoid, a mark of your true friendship and the power in which the shard is bestowing upon you all in finding and rescuing itself. So with the shard embedded into your skin, you gain the following benefits. Any help action given to another party member does not just grant advantage, but also adds +5 to the roll. And it also grants an increase in ability where the primary stat for the Swordsquatch's class is increased by 2, even if it's already at 20.
Holy crap.
And
the power of friendship was the gift all along.
It really was.
It really was.
Also, that helping, granting +5 and advantage is massive. Like, in any given instance, you should just be like, you know what, dude? I help you. And we will be massively successful. It's almost like it's a perfectly thematic item, Shane.
Well done.
Well done.
Thanks, friend.
Make friends and help them. So
Silent weeping.
Like has returned, like, you know, stepped away from Beerson to join his companions at the shard, and is quite silent the whole time. But then after that's done, goes back and returns to his fallen companion and says, "You did well, my friend. And one day, I will return here, and you and all of your force will be free once more. I swear it."
And the stone petrified Beerson is ever silent. But you could have sworn it nodded ever so slightly. And with that,
You make me cry.
oh, and with that, with the Twilight Shard recovered, and one heck of a payday as you look down and you see not only was the true value and treasure was the treasure and friendship, but there's coin and treasure.
But
Get that bread.
It takes a little bit, but you're able to grab everything, which just for funsies, because treasure is fun. I'm going to tell you what's in the hoard. 1,800 platinum. 12,000 gold pieces.
Ooh, you could buy Seattle with that money.
3 alexandrite.
By one house in Seattle.
Sorry. You could buy
All
one
of us
basement
to
room in
share.
Seattle with that money.
Holy blue spinal, a jasper orb, 2 paradox, a topaz, potion of flying, potion of supreme healing, potion of stone giant strength, +2 ammunition, a bolt of gold cloth. Because treasure hoards are fun. So,
Question.
you have your payday.
Can we lift these statues?
You could definitely try.
All
We have a
right.
potion
We have
of
a
giant
potion of
strength.
strength.
We have a potion of giant strength.
Does someone want to
Okay.
down that?
All right. So, just we'll continue to make sure that we use our resources effectively. My
Okay.
strength is 20. So, unless anybody else beats
Oh,
that,
Callie.
I'm
Callie,
going to down.
Callie. Your strength is now 22.
Fuck yeah! All right. So,
Wait, if we help each other carry them, do we get that +5?
Mm-hmm. Essentially, it's an
Plus
athletics check. Or
20.
all right.
Do we even need a potion at this point?
We'll say, for the sake of time, you guys spend some time taking various statues, but first you definitely do prioritize Beerson. And with the Twilight Shard recovered, a lost friend found, and one heck of a payday, your party makes their way down the island and back to your ship. You all make it safely aboard, just as the last bit of light sets beyond the horizon. As you get settled on board, there is already somehow a meal perfectly prepared for you, as if somebody was your personal attendant and planned that you would need a nice meal. Perhaps an unseen servant set it up for you all. For some of you, your meal just consists of ale, because why the heck not? And overall, not bad for your first day of vacation. Who knows what day 2 will bring?
I know what it's gonna bring for Little. A spa day.
Yes.
And that's our story. That is the Swordsquatch, Cascadia Force, and the Twilight Shard.
Great one shot, Shane.
Lovely. Well
Very
done.
Yay!
I hope you guys had fun.
Oh,
We
yeah.
did.
an
We did. It was a blast.
Yay! Well, thank you all very much for being my players. Thank you all for watching, if you're watching this on our stream on Friday. Hopefully you have been enjoying Swordsquatch and all the other workshops that are available. This is going up on Friday. So there should be 2 more days of Swordsquatch that is happening. So be sure to register for those events or see them live on our Facebook. Other than that, thank you all again for being here, and thank you to my players. You're amazing. I had a blast. I hope you did too. And I guess I'll see you on the next adventure.
Hey!
Yay!
Happy Swordsquatch!
Happy
Swordsquatch!
To my workshop, I'm very disappointed.
See you at the
'twas a good adventure. Good night, everybody.